In Syracuse.
Yeah.
So what in the hell?
What?
What? Why?
Because.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fine. He's just fine.
Okay.
Wayne Newton turns 83 today.
Oh, my God. He was 21 years old when he recorded that song.
Oh, I thought he was even younger than that.
No, 21. I mean, he sounds younger than that. As a matter of fact, he sounds so young, he sounds like a girl.
Sounds like a, yeah.
Yeah, but he was 21. That song was originally written for Bobby Darin. Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I can hear that.
But Bobby Darin said, my buddy Wayne here, let's have him do it, and he recorded it. And now it's Dankeschön. It's actually Dankeschön.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's German for thank you very much.
Yes.
But he says Dankeschön. I don't know.
It rhymes with our Wiedersehen.
Yeah, I guess so. And
joy and pain.
Listen, who was on the recording session?
All right.
Leon Russell.
Really? Okay.
Glenn Campbell.
Wow.
You know Hal Blaine, drummer.
Hal Blaine.
Yeah, he's a famous session drummer, and then some other famous session people. But I thought it was weird that Leon Russell was there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, if you listen to the song, it's really rapey.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of the songs were then.
We're in a park in the dark. You tore your dress. What a mess.
Yeah.
I confess, there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
That was just the time. A lot of the songs were rapey.
Yeah. So the rapey songs, that's what we liked back then. We'd sing the rapey songs, and we loved them. And then we got all woke.
If you want an example of really bad plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne.
It's Wayne.
Yeah.
We met Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
When?
At a convention, a radio convention, and he was very funny and very charming.
Yes.
And he was great. I mean, he was very entertaining. He didn't sing. He did sort of stand-up routine. And he's a big man. You don't think of him as being a big guy, but he's like 6.
Pretty tall.
Something, yeah.
Google says 6'2".
Yeah.
6'2".
And he's beefy. You know, he's not fat, but he's
Well, yeah, living out in Las Vegas, you get mobbed up, you got to stay tough.
That's right.
Yeah.
He is Mr. Las Vegas, after all. Wayne Newton. I remember the first time I ever saw him on TV, he was on Bonanza, playing some role on Bonanza as a kid, and he sang on the show on Bonanza. I don't remember what he sang.
Did he look in Lauren Green's eyes and
I don't think it was I think he
happy
was,
love song?
No, it was Haas. He looked into Haas's eyes.
Haas,
Yeah.
I'm going to do a song for you now called "Games That Lovers Play." I'm going to dedicate it to you, Haas.
He apparently does quite a. I mean, I don't know if is he still performing?
I don't know.
Let me look and see. But apparently his shows in Las Vegas, they were, really good. Let's see. Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, I think so. His nicknames are Mr. Las Vegas, The Midnight Idol, Mr. Entertainment,
Wow.
and Mr. New Vegas for some reason.
Oh, is he the guy who... So in the Fallout video games, they have radio stations that
Yeah.
play on repeat, and they usually, for each game, have a DJ
Yeah.
that, voices stuff. He might have voiced
I think
the
that's
character, and that's why he's Mr. New Vegas.
Yeah,
Mr. New Vegas.
As a matter of fact, I'm reading that right now in his bio. Yes.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
I've listened to his voice 1,000 times then.
Yeah.
Also known as Rapey McPlastic Face.
Yeah, his plastic surgery is not
Oh,
good.
it was awful. Who thought it was a good idea? I don't know.
Talented guy, though. You got to hand it to him.
I suppose. But he's fine. He's just fine.
He's fine. Yeah,
He's 83 today.
I like Bobby Darin better.
If I'm picking, yeah.
Yeah.
If I have a choice. If Bobby Darin's in one stage and Wayne Newton's on the other stage, I'll go see Bobby Darin.
That's a hell of a
Which would
scenario.
be tough because Bobby Darin's dead, I think.
Yes, he is dead.
Yes.
He died pretty young of a heart condition. He was married to Elaine Joyce.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
There we go.
beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing.
I'll take Bobby Darin over Frank Sinatra, as a matter of fact.
I would make that argument.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just kind of he's hipper, and he's just got a little more edge to him.
Fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing.
And of course, Bobby's responsible for this one.
I know what it is.
Oh, the shark, babe, has such teeth, dear, and it shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has old Maggie Heath, babe, and it keeps it out of sight.
It's from Bertolt Brecht's Threepenny Opera, a song written by Kurt Weill, originally in German. And Kurt Weill was married to Lotte Lenya, who was an actress and a German actress, and that's why he yells something about
Miss Lotte Lenya.
Miss Lotte Lenya at the end of the song.
There's also a good version of this song.
This is Louis Armstrong.
Yep. Come on, get in there.
His teeth, yeah, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves, though, wears Maggie, dear, so there's not a trace of red.
Yeah, I don't listen to this kind of music often enough.
We do. Every now and then.
It's a Sunday morning thing,
Yeah.
probably.
It's one of those things.
There's a lack of cigarette smoke in the studio while this
Right
music
now,
is
yeah.
playing out.
Around the corner.
We watched a documentary about Louis Armstrong a while ago, and determined that not enough people know about Louis Armstrong.
Really?
It's true.
I mean, I know who he is, but do people not know who he is at all?
There are those who don't know anything about him.
Yeah, what is? I heard something about this, and I don't know. Did he consider himself more of a trumpet player or a singer?
I think he considered himself as an all-around entertainer.
Just okay.
He could do it all.
I like it. He's always sweaty.
Yeah.
Had a handkerchief and mopping his brow.
Like a sailor, did our boy do something rash? Suki Tawdry,
Yeah.
Jenny Diver, Lottie Lenya, Sweet Lucy Brown. Oh, the line forms on the right, dears. Now that Mackie back in town.
That song, written by Kurt Weill, as I said, in the original productions of it, it's sung very. It's not jazzy at all. It's real slow and real.
Well, it's about a serial killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Mac the Knife.
For-
Old Mac.
for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Now I'm just looking up quotes of Mr. New Vegas in Vegas, imagining like dystopian news being read over music like this.
I'd like to hear him do that.
Strange rumors from across the river indicate a secret underground robot army has been destroyed before anyone was able to use it. You know, so you'd just be walking around a wasteland, hearing music like that and hearing a guy just report on, very dystopian news. You know, weirdly enough, like my love for broadcast radio actually came from those video games.
Really?
Yeah, walking around and you in certain places on the map, you get interference, and the things you did get reported on, like
You're
via
listening to
there you go.
Radio New Vegas, your little jukebox in the Mojave Wasteland. I am Mr. New Vegas, and I'm here for you.
Yeah,
We've
that's
got
him.
some news for you coming right up. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. In addition, a package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on.
You're the person he's talking about.
Nice.
Bill, I have New Vegas on my laptop. We could just hook it up to this
Just sit and
system
play.
and just play all morning if you want.
I wouldn't mind doing that. Should we shut down and just do play? All right. All right.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
You bet it has. All right. That was an interesting farting around.
Sure.
We need to take a break here now, and then we'll come back, and we'd like you to check in with us. And the numbers you use to do that are 877-602-9696. That's 877-602-9696. You can text us if you like, but we like to hear from you on the phone. Check in with us, won't you, please?
Missed a morsel of murder from your crime.
It's often said that the people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day. And today's word is...
Horp. H-O-R-P, Horp. And now to use the word, here are two Utah fellows getting ready for Utah's biggest yearly celebrations. It's Pioneer Days, Days of 47. The season of the Ute Stampede, and the mayor of Mona, Don Criddle, and his son Denver are planning what they will do to celebrate this year. Again, the word is Horp.
Denver, boy of mine, what do we do this year to celebrate the arrival of the Mormon pioneers into the Salt Lake Valley? It's been years since we have went up to the Days of 47 rodeo at the Calvin L. Rampton Salt Palace Convention Center. Would you like to do that?
Well, Daddy, I do love the rodeo. You know I do. Them clowns that they use for the bull riding, that's pretty exciting. But ever since that one clown, Gene's Wall, he got paralyzed by that big old bull named Husker Du, the clowns just ain't been the same for me.
Well, okay. But what about the parade? You've always been a young man who loves a parade.
Oh, I do like the girls that twirl them batons. Gives me a funny feeling in my tummy when they throw them way up in the air and then catch them and twirl them again and again. I get all wound up inside.
Well, then, why don't me and you and your ma go up to the parade?
'Cause they don't throw out candy anymore, Daddy. And that's a ripoff. Besides, I'm too busy to go this year. I'm getting ready for another big celebration right here to home.
What? What celebration?
Well, I'm getting ready for the Renaissance Fair up to the Lavender Farm. It's next month, and I'm making a costume, and I'm making a big old lance. Tim Hafen told me I could borrow his horse, and I'm entered into the jousting contest.
Hey, Denver, I don't think
you can't talk me out of this, Daddy. I'm going to do this. It's going to be great. The Knights of Mayhem are going to be there, and Opal the Fairy, and a mermaid, too. And for the music, the Wolfgang Twins are a couple of Viking-like guys who pound drums with axes. And best of all, the future Mrs. Denver Criddle is going to be performing, too.
Are you off your head, boy? Who would that be?
There's these identical twin ladies, beautiful ladies, I might add, who play all kinds of music on electric harps. They're real good and real pretty, and it don't matter which one wants to get married to me because they are identical. And guess what the twins call themselves, Daddy? Just guess.
I don't know. The Horp Twins?
The Horp Twins, Daddy. Isn't that great? The Horp Twins.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah word of the day.
33986.
All right, 621. Let's get this over with.
Well, I can see that we have a few people texting to check in, but nobody calling yet. So get on the phone, will you? It's 877-602-9696. That's the number. Check in with us here this morning. We'd like to hear from you. Do we have a sponsor here at all, Nick?
We do not, but you can always contact our fine sales staff here at Broadway Media, which includes, let me adjust my fake glasses, Nick Davis.
Well,
What?
How do they contact Nick Davis?
It says on this fake piece of paper, ndavis@bwaymedia.com.
there you go.
Good. All right, here we go. The moon, 33% of full. It's a waxing crescent moon. We'll have a full moon on April 12th. The next moon rise will be today at 10:30 a.m. Today being Thursday. It's the third day, third day of April in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2025. It's Eddie Murphy's birthday today, 64. It's Chocolate Mousse Day. Ooh. Yes. And National Burrito Day. And then
I had a burrito yesterday.
You did? Oh, you're a day ahead.
Day ahead.
Now, tell me, see if you can tell me what this is. It's Fried Fish Fingers and Custard Day. Ring a bell?
Custard.
It's very British, I think.
Yes. Matt Smith's 11th Doctor Who show enjoys fried fish sticks with vanilla custard dip.
Okay.
That was it, and that became a thing. And it's a World Party Day, or P-Day, as they say. And this is an all-new edition of the official morning show of fried fish sticks and custard. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, as Kerry Jackson right there putting on his work hat. It's me, Bill Allred, hatless as usual. Gina Barberi is on assignment at the Vatican, but filling in for her is Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal, Nick Davis right there. Behind me we have Katie, our fine producer, in the booth. And Maya is there, and I'm sure there's a dog there. Yeah,
there's Vax.
There's Vax chewing on something.
His purple Kong toy.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Okay, now we got some phone calls.
There we go. All right. Let's move on into Travis. Travis.
Hi, Travis, down in Provo. What's going on?
Hey, just driving to work. Thanks for letting me listen.
Here, it's our pleasure.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. Here's the thing. It's 6:30 a.m. I figure it's prime time to promote your band's show this weekend, right?
Sure.
You do it.
So, yeah, my band's playing at the Ice House down in Murray. We're kind of an early 2000s alternative rock. So what X96 plays, we're called Grand Theft Audio. So we'll be playing from 9 p.m. to midnight. So
awesome. At the Ice House
on Friday.
Friday night. All right. Have a good
Friday night.
Have a good show, Travis. See you later.
Travis.
Thanks.
Thank
See
you.
ya. Bye.
Let's go to Ben.
Hey, Ben in Orem. In Orem there.
Orem.
Hey, what's up?
Not so much. Thanks for letting me listen.
Yeah.
So, Bill, I wanted to tell you, I've been thinking about this for a long time. At the 2015 Big Ass Show, I went there. I had pit tickets. I went up to the very front of the stage at the very beginning of the show. I stayed there for the entire time. And there was a guy right next to me. You came on stage for a minute. The guy right next to me yelled, "Hey, Bill!" And then you looked at me really expectantly. And so I felt really uncomfortable. So I just felt like I had to say something. So I yelled at you, "You're a handsome man, Bill." And then
thanks for that.
You took it really graciously, and you said thank you, and you told everybody in the crowd, you said, "You are all handsome men and women." And anyways, that was like my fond Bill memory. I've been wanting to share that with you for a while.
Well, I kind of remember that, Ben, and it was I loved going on stage in front of the crowds at the Big Ass Show. It was almost always just a remarkable experience. They would give you a lot of energy and a lot of love, and they were happy to be there, and we were happy to be there, and I wish they were not gone.
Yeah. You guys need to bring him back. It's like the one thing that I would make a point to go to. Like any other show, I may or may not be there, but the Big Ass Show, 100%. I was always there.
Don't tell us.
Yeah. Contact the station's management and demand big-ass shows.
Contact the wonderful sales team at Broadway Media.
There you
go. Oh, that doesn't include me on this one.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks,
nice
Ben.
to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me listen. Bye.
Let's go to Amanda.
Hi, Amanda in South Jordan. What's up with you?
Hi. Thanks for letting me listen for
Yeah.
all of my life and being such a huge part of my life.
It's a pleasure. Anything
That's
else?
Is
That's
that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you,
I don't know.
Amanda.
Is there anything else?
No,
not
There is
necessarily.
nothing else.
There does not have to be
All right,
anything
then.
else.
Don't
checking in,
ruin
Amanda.
a perfect phone call.
Yeah. See you later.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. Bad Brad Wheeler checking in. Great music this morning. Mixer driver Shane checking in from Orem in my brand new 2025 mixer.
Ooh, good time to snag it.
Tree of East-Est of Down East, Maine. Loving the chill atmosphere of farting around this morning. Thank you. Let's see. This morning I learned why my grandparents' generation was so creepy.
Yeah. Well,
What was the Louis Armstrong documentary? I don't remember the name of it. Sorry. Don't forget Mac Tonight, the McDonald's commercials.
oh God.
I don't know those.
They wanted you to go there in the evening,
Uh-huh.
For dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they created a character, and he had a moon for a head and sunglasses, and he played the piano.
Okay.
Just look up Mac Tonight, and you'll
Gotcha.
see it. MAC Tonight.
Oh, I've seen this photo.
You've seen
I
that
have
guy.
seen this photo.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I've been indoctrinated into thinking that McDonald's is a 24/7 establishment.
Well, see, that
Yeah,
that
so it
wasn't
worked.
always the case.
Yeah.
Aaron from Ogden. I learned something new every day. I always thought Louis Armstrong, a.k.a. Satchmo, was the idea behind Mac the Knife. No.
No.
Let's see. Richard, who's not a dick, checking in. Gen X girl checking in. So sad. I was always Team Iceman versus Team Maverick. But I do admit Tom Cruise aged way better. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Once in future Judge Nelson checking in from Gilbert. Donka for the farting around. Mr. Newton making the rapey song sound effortless.
By the way, I just checked the song Donka Shane, or I mean Mac the Knife, coming from the Three Penny Opera. That was written in 1928. The German play with music by Bertolt Brecht.
Dan of Evanston checking in from Baltimore. Saw a new way to spell Utah here at a baseball game. It's E-U-T-A-W.
Utah.
Meshach of Erta checking in, hoping for some good leads on a job today. Tristan from the most west of Jordan checking in. I was just out walking my dog and started dancing to the great music. Jello Salad Annie.
Nice.
Kilroy was here from Pleasant Grove. Kevin from Layton. Ella the Nanny. Emilio checking in from the Nauvoo Bell Tower. It's a little echoey in here. All you folks who text back, I'm not driving, know that you're responding to an automated response, okay? I'm not personally typing in over here and concerned that you're driving and texting. The machine is.
Yeah.
All right. Zoology teacher Vanessa, Jody, and Brad. I-15 is snowy in Utah County. Oh, well, we better do some traffic.
Oh,
then,
well,
shall we?
well. Thank you for alley-ooping that traffic bit towards me, but truly the only thing I'm seeing as the virtual eyes in the sky looking at the UDOT traffic page is a crash near Lagoon in Farmington, I-15 northbound, it says here, but that's not even causing any issues. So I'm sure something will come up, but you can always text me your own traffic updates. 33986 is the text line to do that.
All right. Thank you very much. We will take a break. We'll play a song. After that song, it's Big Boy News. And then Frank Christ presents the Dead Celebrity Game. We'll have that for you coming up right after that news. You can play and you can win. Stand by. We'll
a list in my file for quite a while, and I kept saving it, and because I look at it and I think every one of these things is Gina.
What?
Well, it says, here are some signs that you are the designated mom of your friend group.
Oh, okay.
So
You wanna
I think
do a list.
So should we start the list then? All right.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
All right, so 15 signs that somebody's the designated mom of their friend group. And I know if you don't have a friend group, Gina, you should get one,
Okay.
because I'm betting you do every one of these things. Number one, you're always cheering on your friends during the biggest events of their lives.
Well, sure.
See?
Isn't that your job? Everybody should do that.
You know exactly what gifts to give them. Right?
You're pretty good at
Pretty
it.
good at that.
Birthday presents are where you shine.
Yeah, I'd say.
Number three, you worry about your friends all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
I worry about everybody all the time. I worry about the world.
As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, we can say it here today. The world is Gina's designated friend group.
It's true.
Number four, you're the go-to friend for a pep talk.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yep. Come on, buck up.
Yeah.
Yep. Number five, you give tough love when necessary.
No, I'm not good at that.
No.
I don't say no or am honest enough.
Yeah. That's the
No
truth.
tough love? Come on. You
I worry about people's feelings too much, so I don't. I probably should. I definitely should, actually.
You should, but you don't.
all right. Okay, so there's just one so far. Number six, you come prepared for almost any circumstance.
No. That's not
No,
Gina.
come on.
No.
You always have a backup. You have backup snacks.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
You have a first aid kit in the car.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
See, I can only judge by the things that I've done with you,
Yeah.
and quite often you are never prepared.
No.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, no,
I
I
know.
have a first aid kit, blanket in my car, water.
Gina has
in my
one of those
car.
hammers that she can break open the window of her car
Just in
if she
case.
drives into a reservoir. Right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and cut the
Yep.
seatbelt.
The seatbelt. Actually, I think my wife has one of those too. Number seven, you know when to tell them to start drinking.
What?
Bottoms up, everybody. It's time to start drinking.
No, that's not me.
Really?
No.
Oh, come on. You just want it's to gauge to ensure that nobody feels pressured to drink too quickly or too much.
Oh, well. Yeah, mine would be to start so we can get it over with, so we can go home.
Number eight, you know when to tell them to stop drinking.
Yes.
Okay. Slow down there, buddy.
Yeah.
Number nine, you're the designated problem
Yes.
solver.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Got to
Good
solve these
Lord.
problems. Number 10,
I'm so tired of.
you can be relied on for the serious stuff.
Yes.
Like they might even call you before they call 911. Number 11, you plan group events.
Nope. No, I don't.
You don't? You
No.
don't plan them.
No.
You attend them,
Yes.
but you don't plan
No.
them. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Number 12, you're the best shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, and you'll follow it up with some serious girl talk. Number 13, you always remember to take the photos.
That
Is that you?
no.
Oh, come on.
That's
See,
fine.
I've seen you post everything.
That is a weakness that Sue and I have when we travel.
You don't take.
We're caught up in the moment. We're
Which
not
is good.
We're not
Yeah, I
thinking
don't
about
take-
the photo.
But don't
take
you
photos
kind of
either.
wish you had the photos?
But yeah, then there are times when it's like I wish we
Yeah.
had a picture of us here. you know?
Well, yeah. Actually, no. I do like to get pictures of things. Yeah. I do.
Let's see. You act as the group's conscience.
Well, here certainly.
Yeah. Yes, Gina is the
Katie is-
moral compass of the Radio from Hell show.
Katie's agreeing with me, yeah.
And then finally, number 15. You've got everybody's back, man. I got your back.
I mean, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Group hug. Okay,
a lot
group
of
hug.
these. A lot of these.
Yeah. You are most of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You are the designated mom of your friend group, whatever group that may
I'm
be.
definitely the designated mom of this group.
Yes.
That's for sure.
You think of yourself as my mom?
Who was bugging you to go to the doctor yesterday?
Yeah.
Multiple times.
There you go.
You're right, Mom.
There you go.
You're right, Mom.
Katie is claiming ownership of all of these with her friend group.
I'm not surprised.
Now that,
I believe, yeah.
Actually, I should have done that. Katie would have been solid on
Katie
every
takes
one of those.
charge. Katie's.
And here's a texter suggesting a new bit for the show. We call in and tell Gina our problems, and she solves them.
Oh. I would be happy to listen to your problems. I don't know if I can solve them.
Just ask Gina.
I would be happy to.
Well, we talked about doing Judge Gina.
Yeah.
For a
you,
while.
You present your
idea, your problem to Gina, and she judges you. Or something. I can't remember.
I think we should do that. If I could be the counter to what would be the counter to it? Like, well, that's what Judge Gina says, but
I don't know what the but is.
I don't know.
On appeal, you could have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you be
I
Rusty?
think the butt is me.
Would
I
you be Rusty the bailiff?
No, I'd just be the butt. Now it's time for Bill to be the butt.
It comes naturally.
These are muscles that he is familiar with. He has flexed these muscles before. So.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
Because on this day, happy birthday to Simon Raymond, producer, label owner, and best known as the bass guitarist and keyboardist for the Cocteau Twins. Heaven or Las Vegas is the song.
Haven't heard those in a long time.
We're in a Vegas mood this morning.
Mm-hmm. If you know, you know. All right, we do have big boy news right now. Then Frank Christ presents They're Fine. They're Just Fine. The Dead Celebrity Game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrity names. 3 of those celebrities are just fine. One of them is dead. If you pick the dead one correctly, you're going to win.
You're going to win Collective Soul tickets.
Yeah. Collective Soul tickets, 877-602-9696. Line up when you need to. The sooner, the better to play Frank Christ Presents, 877-602-9696. Right now, it's Big Boy News and Opinnuendo, brought to you by...
Is the news making you feel like you need to flee the country?
Yes.
Travel Club 365 can help. From cruises and all-inclusives to bucket list adventures, your local travel pros can plan it all for every budget, all with no planning fees. Give Travel Club 365 a call or text 801-441-0102. That's 801-441-0102. TravelClub365.com.
Well, speaking of dead celebrities, Cher is looking back on her thrilling relationship with her ex-boyfriend, Val Kilmer.
Oh, I didn't know.
Following his tragic death after the Batman Forever star died of pneumonia at age 65 on Tuesday. Cher posted a touching tribute to her former flame on social media. Valis, Cher wrote on X, referring to Kilmer by the nickname she had for him when the pair dated in the early 80s. I will miss you. You were funny, crazy, pain in the ass, a great friend. Kids love you, she teased, before calling Kilmer brilliant as Mark Twain. Kilmer portrayed Mark Twain in Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, and again in 2016 in a one-man show titled Mark Twain, Citizen Twain. The burlesque star, that's Cher. Cher went on to praise the Heat actor. I hate these.
Yeah.
Went on to praise Kilmer for being brave during his sickness. Kilmer was treated for throat cancer for years after being diagnosed in 2014. He later recovered from that. He apparently died of pneumonia. And I read somewhere else that he had been bedridden for quite a while. Mm-hmm. He'd been unable to do anything. She went on to gush over Kilmer, saying he was exasperating and hysterical. He was thrilling and funny, and I will miss him a lot. Well, a construction crew working along a Brigham City roadway yesterday discovered a bag of human remains.
Oh!
A bag of bones and hair. They thought it was trash at first. The Union Pacific crew was near 2600 West Highway, Highway 13. They found the black garbage bag. Somebody took a look at the bag and looked inside, and they found hair and bones. Brigham City Police Department officers who responded to the scene later confirmed that the remains in the bag were human. The department is now investigating the unidentified remains as a homicide. This is an extremely sad and unusual case. I want to make sure we conduct a very thorough investigation and get justice for this victim, said Brigham City Police Chief Chad Reyes. The department was questioned about the remains possibly being those of Matthew Johnson, who was the National Guardsman killed while sleeping in his Cottonwood Heights home last year. Johnson's wife, Jennifer Gledhill, has been charged with his murder. Prosecutors claim she dumped evidence of the crime in Davis County somewhere, but they have not found his remains. Police say they had been in touch with Cottonwood Heights Police Department after the bag was found, but added they felt confident that the remains were not those of Mr. Johnson. Officials believe the trash bag had been in the area for a very long time, an extended amount of time, maybe up to a couple of years. It's very shocking, said Joy Sandoval, who lives near where the remains were found. It's really shocking to know that there's a dead body across the street, and it's been there for years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
My family since moved, we grew up in Fruit Heights, and when I lived there, a human skull was found down the street.
Oh.
And
I know, I remember that case. It was, It was by the pond and the highway there.
Yeah, and I would hang out around there all the time. So
a dog.
It is a very creepy.
A guy
idea
walking his
knowing
dog
that's going
found
on.
it. Yeah. The United Party and the Utah Forward Party are exploring a merger to create a larger centrist presence in the state and a new home for people tired of partisan politics tied to the Republicans and the Democrats. The leaders of the Utah United Party and the Forward Party announced that they had signed an agreement and they will merge, so that when they merge their forces, there'll be a total of 8 people.
Yeah.
In the
and just enough votes to drain off any Democratic votes.
I mean, I understand the idea that
I get
you're very frustrated with how things are going, and you say the Republican Party is not doing what you want it to do. The Democrats aren't doing what you want it to do. So you want to form your own party.
I get it.
My good buddy Dan Thatcher is part of this movement, and
I get it. But all you're doing is ensuring more Republican rule.
Let's see. The man who was charged with killing the mother of his 2 children before setting their home on fire and fleeing the scene appeared in court yesterday. Ricardo Trujillo Rogel, I think it is accused of murdering 23-year-old Mariah Catalan Dimas on March 24th. This was the guy when the Amber Alert was activated because he took off with the 2 kids after Catalan Dimas was found dead inside a trailer home that was on fire in Riverdale. He and the kids were later found about 85 miles south in Springville's Hobble Creek Canyon. Then this was his first appearance before a judge was yesterday. Let's see, firearms, ballistic vests, breathalyzers, police vehicles, wages for law enforcement officers. Those are some of the ways counties are using the money that they received to combat the opioid crisis. Utah counties have taken a combined $56 million from National Legal Settlement, with additional money expected in the coming years. Only a small portion of the money has been spent, but the uses are almost as diverse as the counties themselves, ranging from housing and wellness programs to treatment for inmates and naloxone. Now, that seems a reasonable use of the money. Yeah. But is it reasonable that they're spending the money on law enforcement, beefing up guns and vehicles for law enforcement?
No.
I don't believe so. Let's see. The Senate is on the verge of confirming someone named Harmeet Dillon to lead the Civil Rights Division at the Department of Justice, putting someone who has spent years attacking voting rights, abortion rights, and LGBTQ rights in charge of protecting those rights for millions of Americans. Well, Republicans advanced Dillon's nomination on Wednesday, clearing a procedural hurdle, and probably she will be confirmed. She is a far-right conservative attorney and former California Republican Party official. She has spent the last 4 years as Donald Trump's legal advisor, and during the 2020 campaign, she perpetuated the lie that the election had been stolen from Trump due to widespread voter fraud, which did not exist. She did TV interviews falsely claiming that there was persistent voter fraud in Pennsylvania, a state that Trump legitimately lost to Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Her law firm, the Dillon Group, over the years has filed more than a dozen lawsuits across 8 states at challenging voting rights, election processes, or the ability of Trump to appear on 2024 ballots. She's a perfect person to lead the the Department of Civil Rights.
This is what they do. They put people in there who will destroy whatever it is that they're in charge of, and then they'll say, "Well, government doesn't work."
I think she has a better understanding of these things than probably anybody in the world because.
To anybody who heard me snicker at the top of that story, I was laughing at the idea of a Republican civil rights expert.
Yeah,
the Trump administration deported a man to prison in El Salvador in what it calls an administrative error.
Oh,
we're sorry.
Well, then why don't you call and get him back?
We can't. We can't get him back.
Yes, you can. Just threaten to stop the payments.
No, we can't get him back. Well, he's just stuck there. He shouldn't have been deported, but he's stuck. I don't know.
No. We can send 4K cameras down to film these institutions, but
get
getting somebody back, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, so we can't do it. We just cannot do it. Amazon has put in a last-minute bid to buy TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. The U.S.
What could go
administration
wrong?
official said. Just days ahead of a Saturday deadline for the short-form video app to find a non-Chinese buyer or face a ban in the country. RFK Jr. remains quiet on 10,000 jobs lost at the nation's top health department.
Yeah.
10,000 jobs. And he's not saying anything about it.
Nope.
Elon Musk's approval rating is plunging to a new low.
Why does he need an approval rating?
He's people.
I know
People take surveys, and his job approval dropped to 41% in a new poll, the lowest rating recorded since the Trump administration entered power. Musk, and there is talk that they're getting tired of him at the White House as well.
I'll believe it when I see it.
They're going to send him off somewhere.
I want him to keep him around.
And finally, he does, because he irritates people so much.
He irritates people so much.
And finally, this story. Americans are some of the most overweight people in the world.
Yes.
I can't wait to dig into this Uncrustable that Nick gave me, by the way.
You haven't done it yet?
Oh, no, I haven't eaten it yet.
You got to eat it while it's cold.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, it needs to be thawed but cold.
Okay, well, I'll eat it as soon as I stop talking, which may be tomorrow. Americans are some of the most overweight people in the world. Nearly 42% of U.S. adults are obese. So Wallet Hub did a survey of cities, the most obese cities in the country. Mm-hmm. The top 10 are all in Texas, Alabama, Arkansas.
All red states.
Louisiana, the top 10 cities. But we made the list.
Oh, we did?
Let's see. There's a list of 100. Ogden comes in at number 81. Boise, Salt Lake, number 86. And Provo, number 87. Those are the only Utah cities I see on there.
We can't.
Full of fatties.
We got to have better food to compensate for that, because Louisiana, they know how to spice a chicken down there, so it makes sense. But
they know how to spice a chicken.
Yeah, they do.
All right. I'll take your word for it. All right, sports, weather, traffic.
Sports. Ukraine's government has hit out remarks by the incoming president of the International Olympic Committee opening the door to Russia's returning to the Games. Russian athletes have been banned from competing in the Olympics under their own flag since Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022, which the IOC deemed a violation of its rules. But incoming IOC President Kirsty Coventry, who takes over from Thomas Bach in June, said in March that she was opposed to banning any countries from competing in the Games and would like to start a quote-unquote discussion on allowing Russia back into the Olympic fold by 2026. That has triggered a withering response from Kyiv, which wants Russia banned from the Olympics and other international sporting events as Moscow's destructive invasion drags on. Under the current rules, Russian athletes are allowed to compete in the Olympics only under a neutral banner, with some international sporting federations such as ice hockey and track and field not allowing Russians to participate in tournaments and qualifying rounds at all, meaning they cannot qualify for these games. That is your sports. Taking a peek at the weather. I got a little snowflake or two coming into work today, but that shouldn't be continuing throughout the rest of the day. With the exception of maybe around noon, there's a chance of something coming down, but outside of that, it looks like we're clearing up over the next few days. High of 43 today, high of 46 tomorrow. That is your weather. Taking a peek at the traffic, though, making sure I hit the refresh button because I am not seeing really anything out there in the valley. But hey, I'm in here. You're out there. So text me your traffic if you're seeing it. 33986 is the number at which you can do that. That's all brought to you by business owners. Do you owe $15,000 or more on employment taxes and don't know what to do? McClure and Stewart are your local trusted tax attorneys. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Frank, oh man, it's cold.
Sorry about that.
That's you just bring the cold with you, don't you?
It's unintentional. It's just all part of the curse.
Frank Christ is here. Frank is the Reaper, the Grim Reaper of celebrity souls. And he's Frank, you're such a sad sack.
I know.
You just, he whimpers. He has to reap the souls of celebrities. That's his specialty. You never do anything about celebrities,
Only
right?
celebrities.
And it really is horrible for him.
It's part of the curse.
Yeah. And you don't like to do it.
No, I love our precious celebrities. Always have, even in my mortal state.
Yes. If we could keep them alive forever, that would be good, wouldn't it?
If it were up to me.
That would be the humane thing.
Frank is a Grim Reaper, as a typical Grim Reaper appears. He's a skeletal figure. I've gotten used to seeing a skeleton sitting in the studio here with me. He's wearing a robe with a hood, and he's got the scythe. The only kind of difference is Frank wears a motorcycle helmet, and he goes around in an electric scooter.
I love my electric scooter.
You love the environment, don't you?
I'm trying to protect the environment.
Yes. We play a game with Frank called Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
This ghoulish game involves selecting a dead celebrity from a list. Frank has given me a list of 4 actors. 3 of the actors on this
they're
list.
Just fine.
But one of them Frank has taken. And if the contestant can determine who the dead celebrity is, they'll win a prize. Who's the contestant, by the way?
Derek is here.
Derek, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're just.
Actually, I don't know.
You're just.
I'm just fine.
That's good, Derek.
I was wondering if you'd like me to come over and check on you.
No, don't check on Derek. Now, if Derek can identify the dead celebrity, what will he win, Nick?
He'll win Collective Soul tickets playing over at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater this July 13th.
All right. You ready to go, Derek?
Let's go.
Okay. Because this is World Party Day, Frank has given me a list of actors in party movies. All right? Identify the dead celebrity, and you'll win the Collective Soul tickets. Number 1 on the list, Paul Dooley. He said that as a boy, he enjoyed listening to comedians on the radio, especially Jimmy Durante. He was in the original production of The Odd Couple on Broadway, created and was one of the head writers of PBS's The Electric Company. Paul Dooley appeared in Raggedy Ann and Andy, A Musical, Adventure, Breaking Away, Runaway Bride, and Popeye. He was in 16 Candles, which features a wild party scene. Number 1, Paul Dooley. Number 2 is Jean Triplehorn. Her film career began with the role of police psychologist in the erotic thriller Basic Instinct. Her other film roles include The Firm, Waterworld, Sliding Doors on TV. She was in Big Love, Criminal Minds, and Grey Gardens. She was in Very Bad Things, about a murderous bachelor party. Number 2, Jean Triplehorn. On this list now, number 3 is Henry Gibson. He had a long career in Hollywood. He was a regular on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. He appeared on Boston Legal several times. Some of his movies include Nashville, The Blues Brothers, The Burbs, and Magnolia. He was in Wedding Crashers, about wedding parties. And number 4, Michael Shannon. His film debut was a small part in Groundhog Day, and then he appeared in Jesus' Son, Pearl Harbor, Kangaroo Jack, and Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. On TV, he was in Boardwalk Empire and George and Tammy. He was in The Night Before, featuring a Christmas Eve party called the Nutcracker Ball. Number 4, Michael Shannon. All right, Derek, which one of those actors is dead?
Bro, I know it.
You do?
Henry Gibson.
You're
the
right.
dude from Magnolia.
Yeah, you're right.
Magnolia, bro.
Yeah, he was great in that, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
He was the head Nazi in the Illinois Nazis in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah. And he was really good on Boston
yeah.
Legal. He played this judge on Boston Legal in several episodes. It was very good. Derek, congratulations. You're going to go see Collective Soul. How about that?
Yeah, I'm just happy to talk to Frank Christ.
Well,
That's all
as
I
a-
came here for.
As a soul collector, congratulations on winning Collective Soul.
All right, Derek, hang on the line, and Katie will tell you how to get your tickets.
Frank Christ.
Well, I
That
gotta
was-
joke a little bit.
That
every-
was good.
A little bit every now and then. After all, otherwise I'll just sit and cry in my apartment all day.
Don't cry.
Jane Goodall, 91 today.
Oh.
Eric Braeden? It says he's an actor. He's on my list of precious celebrities, 84 today.
Yeah, if you saw him, you'd know who he was.
And Alec Baldwin is 67.
Oh.
So many kids. Oh.
High blood pressure, too. I
That's what's aged him over the last few years, let me tell you.
I would hate to clean out the lint trap in his bathtub. Boy,
No.
I'll tell you. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frank.
Bye, Frank. Man, I am just not seeing anything out there on the roads. It is green across the valley, so wherever you want to go, go. That's your traffic report. You can always text me your traffic updates. 33986 is the text number where you can do that.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with some geek news for you. We got Boner of the Day on the way, and the X poll. What is your favorite movie that you know deep in your heart is actually a terrible movie?
Yeah, a movie you love and
a movie you love that you know is in fact an awful movie.
I can think of a couple.
Yep. All that and more coming up. Stand by. RandLife.com/X96.
Rand Life, a home mortgage company, a local home mortgage company. As a matter of fact, they have been my mortgage company, Rand Life has. And they just slashed their floor rate to 3.25%. That's on a 3-and-1 adjustable rate mortgage for FHA and VA loans, 3.25% on 5.983 APR. What does that mean? Well, it means, they can tell you what it means, but in practical terms, it means $190,000 more than you could with the current market rate. That's how much you can get more. And so you could get a bigger house, a better location, the gourmet kitchen you've always wanted. Turn your dream into an address with Rand Life. Well, you visit them at randlife.com/X96. Learn about their incredible new low rates. That's randlife.com/X96. Let Rand Life help you unlock the door to
It was the place to hang out. You always begged your parents to drop you off at the mall. And I look back at those days and I'm like, I hate the mall. I don't need to go there.
I try to avoid it if I can.
I don't recall the last time I was in a mall.
My husband used to work at the E-Bar, the Nordstrom E-Bar at the mall.
Is he?
And that was the only reason I would ever go to the mall.
Just go get a coffee.
Just get coffee from him, say hi, and leave.
Because you were flirting with him?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I was already dating him, but I
okay.
continues to flirt with him. Why not?
Flirt him.
It keeps the spark alive,
Yeah,
right?
keep flirting,
Keep
Katie,
flirting
don't
with
stop
him.
that.
But
Flirt
no.
you could flirt with me if you want.
No.
Thanks, Bill, but we're coworkers.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be good,
It's
would it?
weird.
No. It'd be a little weird.
I was always told not to date my coworkers, and then I started dating my husband, who I was working with at the time at the haunted house.
It
But it
doesn't
worked
count.
out.
It doesn't count at the haunted
No,
house.
But it worked out.
They mean
so.
that everywhere except the
you
haunted
should-
house exception.
You
is-
should never dip your pen in the company ink. I had not heard that before, and I heard somebody on a television show say it a few days ago.
Really? I've heard that before, and I always thought it was the worst metaphor to say.
It is.
I've heard
it's terrible.
The worst one is don't fish off the company pier.
I don't know. I think dipping in the company ink is worse.
No,
They're both
what I'm
pretty
saying,
bad.
What I'm saying, dipping your pen in a company ink is descriptive.
Yeah.
Fishing off the company pier is not. It's like, huh? What do you mean? What am I? Huh?
There's a lot of fish in the sea.
You're fishing
maybe
for a
I don't-
date.
I don't know.
It's more precise to say, don't dip your pen in the company ink.
Just don't date your coworkers. How about that?
But companies have policies against it. But
Mm-hmm.
but I know many instances of people
that went around
developing,
that.
or there wasn't a policy and they had relationships at work. And
It depends on if you're in a position of power. Like if you're equals, if you both do the same thing.
well, where's the point of that? I mean, I want to date up, man. I want my CEO to be a hot woman who wants to date me.
Bill just wants a sugar mama. That's
right.
what he wants.
That's right. That would be nice.
I'm glad I'm not dating.
I don't think
You
I
know
know
what?
how to date anymore.
You know what, Gina? The dating world is glad you're not dating
Isn't it?
anymore because you didn't do that much of it anyway.
No, I didn't.
I feel like it's changed so much I wouldn't even know how to date.
I've never dated. Never. I don't.
You just get married.
Uh,
I used to say that about my dad. He doesn't date. He
Yeah.
just gets married.
No, I've only been married twice. Yeah, twice. Wait a minute. Yeah, twice. But
And you met your first wife when you were very young, and then you've been married for another 20 some odd years. So
yeah, well, but there was dating that went on in there too somewhere.
a little bit. You want to be careful here?
Well, it's way long time ago. It's water way under the bridge.
Oh, okay.
But I never dated.
Like, would you like to go to dinner with
Yeah.
me on Friday night? You didn't do that?
No, not too much.
I think I did that like with one person in college, and that was it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it was just hanging out.
Yeah.
We were just hanging out.
And wait, now everybody left, and it's just me and you hanging out.
Yeah.
Is that how
Yeah,
it would
basically,
go?
yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
everybody's gone now.
And oh my, you really are hanging out.
Is that
That's my company. That's my pen. Where's the company ink?
All right.
I love hanging around with women. You guys
well,
are
you're going to
fun.
do it all week.
All week. Yeah, you're stuck with us.
I know, I like it.
A lot of estrogen in here.
I've often said I'd rather hang around with women than with men. I know what men are like, and I don't care for them.
Gary did in Bountiful when he said, I just finished my breakfast, but now I have an appetite for geek news.
In Bountiful.
In Bountiful.
All right. Gary, I'm sorry.
You're sorry about
Gary and Bountiful.
Not about geek news, though.
No.
Why?
No, I'm apologizing to Gary and Bountiful.
Why?
I don't know.
I did him justice.
Did you?
Reading his text like that.
Okay, all right.
That was a real Gary,
All right.
actually from Bountiful.
An actual? Okay.
That I read.
That you read. You actually read it.
I actually read it.
All right. Is this a sponsored feature?
Let's find out. Sorry, I was too busy reading Gary's text.
Gary has distracted you.
Looking up Gary, yeah.
Brought to you by satisfying all of your gift needs since 1982 and located in the heart of Trolley Square. It's Cabin Fever. So much more than a card store.
Yep. Let's see. Where do we begin? So many trailers to watch this morning.
Okay.
We'll start with. I did not realize that. I mean, I knew people saw this movie, but I didn't realize that it was as popular as it is. Five Nights at Freddy's movie, based on the video game.
Yeah, I know the video game. I didn't watch
The movie was pretty popular, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it. I thought it was okay.
It's a horror movie?
It's a horror movie, but there's a sequel. And they released a teaser trailer today.
Is it Five More Nights at Freddy's?
No, I wish they'd have done that, but it's Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Well,
Count with me now. 5, 4, 3,
They're out there, Mike.
2,
Where?
1.
everywhere.
They that they're talking about are the animatronic figures that populated the. Let's just call it Chuck E. Cheese. Just call it that.
So what's the premise of this?
It's Chuck E. Cheese
come to life,
and
killing people,
and they're killing people,
but they're mad.
Yeah. So the sequel will be out in December. So if you're a fan of,
they're angry because little children come in to get pizza and then vomit.
I guess I don't know.
I mean, there was like 10 video games,
Oh, there
so
were.
I guess there's a lot of source material. I don't know. I kind of
Yeah.
clocked out after the second one.
Yeah. Let's see. We also got a look at now. If you want the full experience for this next trailer, you have to go online and watch the. Let's see. I think it's called the April 1st celebration. Rick and Morty.
Okay.
It was a 22-minute YouTube special featuring actors interpreting scenes from past Rick and Morty's, but done in kind of like a off-Broadway kind of style.
Sure.
Serious style?
Yeah. And so after you get through all that, then you get the trailer for the Rick and Morty Season 8, which, gosh, it's taken a long time. May 25th.
Check out this Wicker Man looking place. German Easter is a little less chocolate-centric.
Say what you want about America, but we get a few things right.
This has something to do with the Easter Bunny? I don't know.
It's a big Easter egg.
Looks like it's from Andromeda.
Why would aliens care about a holiday we don't even care about?
I don't know, but we're not the only ones looking for answers. Check out these nerds. Space Christians? Isn't that a conflict of interest?
All right, and then I have to dump out because there's swears. May 25th for the new season of Rick and Morty. Let's see, a little less adult fare. Let's go to, of course, you can always count on Star Wars for less adult fare. We got a preview of a new cartoon series called, let's see, Tales of the Underworld. Star Wars Tales of the Underworld.
Just do as I say. Never can be too cautious with strangers out here. Then again, you're no stranger. Lady Ventress.
Tales of the Underworld, the next entry in the Tales anthology format.
Problem here. Just saw him right in.
So we're focusing on two, what I guess are considered minor characters, but they're getting their own show. Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane.
Ooh, Cad Bane.
You like Cad Bane?
I do.
Dude?
He's sick.
Situation.
Well, this must be a prequel then, because didn't he die in Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Things have changed. You took everything from me. Who are you?
I was Count Dooku's lead assassin. I don't want that life anymore.
So there you go. It's coming to your Disney Plus on, yes, May the 4th.
I get it.
Okay. From Star Wars to Star Trek. Now, I'm actually very excited about this. We're getting... Yes.
Is this animated? Or?
No, this is live action. This is Season 3 of Strange New Worlds.
Oh, good.
You know, science fiction. All of that with weekly space adventures.
Let's hit it. Our reality has been changed.
I see it. I don't believe it.
Exciting, isn't it?
This is one of my favorite Star Trek projects. I love this.
So now, who's in this one?
This is with Captain Pike.
Anson Mount?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anson Mount. And, of course, Mr. Spock.
I got you just...
Young Scotty. Young Captain Kirk is in it as well. And
I
Young
like
Nurse
Anson
Chapel.
Mount.
Yeah.
I like Anson Mount quite a bit.
Young Nurse Chapel. Carol Kane is the engineer.
Oh, that's right.
Where a show like this is?
Indeed.
So it looks like we're getting some Klingon action, and it looks like the return of the Gorn.
The original Gorn was so bad.
These new ones are scary. So that's Star Trek Strange New Worlds coming this summer. They're not saying when exactly, but it looks great. And let's see. They're also, CinemaCon is happening right now. And they're debuting a lot of trailers for the, it's for the theater owners.
Right.
And they got some extra footage of the new Superman movie. And apparently, if you go see the Minecraft movie this weekend, you're going to see this trailer that they showed at CinemaCon.
Superman trailer?
The Superman trailer.
Yeah.
So, and it's more crypto-centric, the doggy. Let's see. Also, Tom Holland revealed he's so bad at keeping secrets. Spider-Man 4's title is Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day, which Brand New Day is a title from the Spider-Man comic in 2008, a storyline that takes place after a universe-altering event in which everyone forgot who Spider-Man was. But you'll remember that has also happened in the Spider-Man movies. He asked Doctor Strange, could you make sure nobody knows who I am? And he did the entire planet. Nobody knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
How old is Peter Parker in the Tom Holland movies?
Is in college, starting college.
Okay, so he's passable. I was going to say, he's getting up there.
He looks like a young boy. All right, there you go. All right, traffic, please.
Me, oh my, there is none traffic for I to report. It is green across the valley. Seriously, I'm not seeing any issues out there, or UDOT is messing up. To be honest, it really could be a coin flip on either one, but you're out there, so text me the traffic if you can safely do so. 33986 is the text line where you can do exactly that. All brought to you by Stubbs Dental, award-winning services. Life-changing results. Visit StubbsDental.com to book your appointment now.
All right.
We got boners coming up here, the candidates you'll be voting for this morning. Boner candidate number 1, DoorDash dancing lesson. Boner candidate number 2, we're going to tariff the seagulls. And boner candidate number 3, he sleeps with his AK. It makes him feel safer.
All right, boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up after these messages and a song. Stand by.
We've got a treasure chest.
And I'll get to that in just a second, but because it has to do with bugs. I was at the University Pharmacy, I think it was on Monday, and I came out into the parking lot, and the guy who sort of takes care of the parking lot, Mike, said, "Oh, you see all these bugs, these little bugs flying around." And I went, oh, yeah. There are clouds of these little bugs. Have you guys seen them?
No.
Pay attention, like when you go home. And I saw it, and then I went home, and there were clouds of them all around my yard.
They're following you.
No, they're not. They're just everywhere. And I thought, what the hell is this? And so we did a little research, and actually, Uncle Todd found out what they were. These little nightmares are blue ash aphids, usually prevalent in the Pacific Northwest. Nobody is sure how they ended up this far south, but they're here until the first deep freeze. Unfortunately, because there are so many, that means they're going to lay eggs by the millions in the trees, and we're going to have them next spring. And so I did a little more research looking them up, and indeed they are in the past they have been confined pretty much to the Pacific Northwest, up in Seattle, Oregon, around the Spokane area, and there are numerous news articles about them.
Okay.
How people are just, they're just annoying.
They look like a fly you would use for fly fishing.
Yeah, kind of. They're blue ash aphids, blue ash aphids.
You call them.
Yeah, blue ash aphids. They have furry butts, kind of.
Sure.
And so I thought I wanted to do more research. I'm looking up, and I'll bet some people are listening right now. You know what we're talking about? These clouds of. Just watch for it. It's sort of almost not noticeable, and if you're not paying attention, and then all of a sudden you realize there are thousands of them around. And so I went to this website that I found, and I would advise you all to look it up because it's great. Insectidentification.org. And it says there are over 1 million identified species of insects and spiders in the world, with many more still awaiting discovery. Now, with this website, you can find any of those million that have already been identified, and you can find them either by type of insect, like if you want to know types of spiders, types of beetles, or you can find insects by state. What insects are common to your state? And so I looked up Utah, and we could look at, and then it's further broken down. Do you want to know about Utah spiders? You want to know about Utah dragonflies? Name something you want to. Utah. I don't know what Utah true bugs are. Maybe they're the ones you find only in Utah. Should we click on that?
Sure.
Let's see. Utah true bugs, and here's what we find. Something called the ambush bug.
That's a DC superhero, by the way.
The assassin bug. And I could, and then you can click on these and it'll tell you more about them. Let's see, the broke-backed bug. Any one of these you want to know about, let me know. The brown marmoted stink bug. How about the plant bug?
Plant bug?
Yeah. The Red Cross shield bug. That's kind of a beetle. All of those are pretty much beetles. But it's just fascinating how many different insects you can find. Spiders, butterflies, wasps, crickets. You can find, if you want to know just what, any green bugs in your state, any blue bugs in your state. You can just find all of them. It's just incredible.
Look up bark beetles.
Carrie's got bark beetles.
I got bark beetles.
Yeah, okay, Utah beetles.
It's killing the blue spruce.
Let's see, there it is, the bark beetle. Yep, it's killing it, and it says it loves evergreens, blue spruce.
It's ruining trees.
It's killed it pretty much.
Mm-hmm. But that's just one of many beetles. It's just incredible how many different varieties there are. And Utah dragonflies. There are 25 different species of dragonfly in Utah. There's the American ruby spot damsfly, the black saddlebag skimmer.
Look up the shoe fly.
You want to make a pie? Is that what you
look up? Lightning bugs.
Oh, okay.
We don't have them here.
We don't have them here, and I'd like them here.
How do we get them here?
Can we get them here?
It's not hot enough here.
It's not hot enough.
It's not humid.
Yeah, it's not humid. It's too cold for them.
Oh.
If you've ever seen them, though, geez, they're incredible.
I've never seen them. That's the thing.
I in Georgia, and I think that's where I saw them.
I've seen them on that pirate ride at Disneyland.
Yep. So anything you want to know about bugs?
I hate these. The Johnson jumping spider. I hate the jumping spider.
They're kind of cool, though.
No,
they
scare me.
Well, yeah, but they're...
Because you go to get them, and then they...
But they are kind of cool. And so you've gone to the website, I see. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
All the different things you can find. The different spiders. The barn funnel weaver spider. The black-tailed crab spider. Ooh, there's an ugly one. What's that? The canopy. Oh, here, it's a jumping spider, Gina.
I hate the jumping spider.
It's the canopy jumping spider. They're hairy. It jumps on its prey. It packs a lot of personality, it says here. Found in the southeast and along the eastern coast, this particular spider is at home in forests.
This website makes me itchy.
It's an ambush predator that stalks and pounces on its insect prey. That's an interesting thing about the insect world. What do they eat? They all eat other insects. It's a cannibalistic species.
Another reason to hate them.
Well, I guess some insects eat plants rather than each other, right? Spiders eat each other.
Yeah, they do.
So anyway, if you want to know more about bugs, insectidentification.org. You can find them by state, by type, all of that.
Because on this day, in 1982, Simple Minds released Promised You a Miracle, the lead single from their 5th studio album, New Gold Dream.
That was Simple Minds?
That was Simple Minds.
That slapped. I'd never heard that one before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, if you know, you know.
I didn't know.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to some boner of the day. These will be 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be boner of the day for today, April 3, 2025. We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news, and once you've heard all 3, you will vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Don't try Venmoing me. Don't do it.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Nope.
You got to win it. It's a Radio from Hell boner t-shirt.
Can't buy it.
You can't buy it.
All right, here's boner candidate number 1, DoorDash dancing lesson. A Utah DoorDash driver has now been arrested and faces sexual battery charges after he allegedly touched a Taco Bell employee inappropriately multiple times. Angel Tineo Tarazona was arrested on Monday, according to court documents. Saratoga Springs police were called to Taco Bell out there on State Street in Saratoga Springs. The victim called the police to the restaurant to report the incident. When the officers arrived, both parties were still at the restaurant. The victim explained that she gave Tarazona the order he needed, and when he pointed to the menu behind her, the victim turned around, and she said, "Mr. Tarazona put his hand on her butt and then pulled her toward him." Officers interviewed Tarazona, who denied any appropriate touching occurred. Mr. Tarazona explained to the police that he had simply been placing his hand on her hip to teach her how to dance.
No.
What?
This story was supported by Mr. Tarazona's wife, who claimed to have witnessed the interaction.
She was there?
And stated that nothing inappropriate occurred. Wow. At that time, officers trespassed Tarazona from the location. That's an odd way to put it. On Monday, officers received video footage of the incident from the lobby camera inside the Taco Bell, and they say the video shows Mr. Tarazona pointing to the menu and then placing his hands on the worker and pulling her toward him. Angel Tarazona then allegedly went to the bathroom for a couple of minutes before calling the victim over again. Detectives say he again pointed to the menu, and the worker foolishly again turned around, and Mr. Tarazona placed his hands on her and pulled her in towards him. He was arrested at his home in Orem. Boner candidate number 1, DoorDash dancing lesson.
I'm channeling Gina's hate for DoorDash.
Here's boner candidate number 2. We're going to tariff the seagulls.
Yeah.
President Trump implemented tariffs on several uninhabited islands on Wednesday.
That'll show them.
Really?
As part of a confused effort to establish equal trade, the White House published a list of countries that had been slapped with reciprocal tariffs after Trump accused the nations of ripping off the U.S. with their own tariffs. Social media users were quick to point out, however, that the list included uninhabited islands and a territory where the only significant settlement is a U.S. military base. Among them, the uninhabited Heard and McDonald Islands, an Australian territory in one of the most remote places on Earth, was slapped with a 10% reciprocal tariff. The British Indian Ocean Territory was also slapped with a 10% reciprocal tariff, despite the fact that the only inhabitants of the island are the U.S.-UK military personnel and contractors who occupy a joint military facility there. The Heard and McDonald Islands are completely uninhabited. Population 0.
Yep.
I guess we're going to tariff the seagulls, said an American Immigration Council senior fellow. It kind of feels like a White House intern went through Wikipedia's list of countries and just generated this list off that with no further research.
Could be.
Boner candidate number 2. We're going to tariff the seagulls.
Those penguins will be taking their business elsewhere, sir.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. He sleeps with his AK. That makes him feel safer.
All right, boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by.
Brought to you by. See movies on the big screen at Broadway Center Cinemas. This weekend, don't miss the David Lynch tribute with Elephant Man starring Anthony Hopkins. This early classic is available on the big screen both Friday and Saturday. Get tickets and showtimes at slfstix.org.
I want my man back. Val Kilmer's health had seriously deteriorated near the deteriorated.
He couldn't speak either.
That's a hard word.
It is.
Had seriously deteriorated at the end of his life, leaving him unable to get out of bed for years before his death, TMZ has learned. Family sources told TMZ Val had a lack of energy related to his cancer treatment, and as a result, he was bedbound for a long time. While he was cancer-free, we're told his body simply couldn't keep fighting at the end, and his body eventually shut down. According to sources, Val was very frail near the end of his life, and his death was not sudden. His health seriously declined in the past week, and his friends and family came to his side at the hospital in the days before his death. He had been previously hospitalized earlier this year. Also, TMZ was told that a video of Kilmer donning a Batman mask he posted to Instagram in February was actually taken years ago. So his appearance in it is not accurate to how he looked in the last months of his life, and that was not good. Kilmer hadn't appeared in public for years before his death, last attending the Thespians Go Hollywood Gala back in 2019 with his daughter Mercedes. Val has 2 children. They're working on funeral arrangements, and it was Mercedes, his daughter, that confirmed her dad's passing to the New York Times. Residents in Memphis, Tennessee, a tornado outbreak yesterday, and residents had to take shelter. It impacted the Mississippi River Valley, with tornadoes injuring at least a dozen and damaging or destroying several homes from Missouri through Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. We heard from Mike in Nashville this morning at all?
Yeah, I think he's in the chat room. I'm not sure.
Massive tornado was spotted by Fox Weather storm tracker Brandon Kopic as it neared Lake City, Arkansas. Authorities issued a tornado emergency, the most dire of tornado alerts for towns in the path of the storm, such as Leechville and Manette. You have to be underground. You will not survive this tornado if you are above ground.
Wow.
That's what residents likely did, because there were some injuries, but apparently no deaths that tornado. But there are a bunch of them, and they're still going. There's also just tremendous amounts of rain throughout that area, throughout that all those states.
Mike
they're worried about flooding.
Yeah, Mike in Nashville not in the chat room this morning.
Let's see if it says anything about.
Yeah, the story I just pulled up said tornado outbreak kills 2 in Tennessee, injures dozens in Mississippi Valley.
Okay. So it's and the rain is just horrific as well.
Don't worry, I'm sure FEMA will. Oh wait,
and this is stretching pretty much all the way from down into San Angelo, Texas, all the way up to the north and east, up into Washington D.C., New York.
It's stretching wider and wider
it's a
every
big storm.
year.
Yeah.
So this is in the New York Times. I think it was this morning by Dr. Michael Mina, who is an epidemiologist and immunologist who has specialized in the study of measles. He writes, "We used to think of measles outbreaks in the United States as isolated events, short-lived and confined to close-knit communities with low vaccination rates. A flare here, a bubble there. But as those bubbles grow and converge, the United States could be at risk for tens of thousands of cases. Measles was declared eliminated from this country in the year 2000. That didn't mean that the virus disappeared. It meant we stopped it from spreading freely. It was a hard-won public health triumph made possible by decades of vaccination. But that protection is now unraveling," Dr. Mina writes. "Vaccine skepticism has become increasingly mainstream, amplified by pandemic-era backlash, a torrent of online misinformation, and support from the new Health and Human Services Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has been at the center of vaccine misinformation for over a decade. A growing outbreak in Texas, cases in over a dozen states, shows how fragile our defenses have become. Measles is among the most contagious viruses known. A single case can cause dozens more in places where people are unvaccinated. And infants who are too young for vaccination, immune-compromised people, and the elderly are all at risk."
I mean, I could Google it, but it's more fun to ask on air. How is it contracted? Is it
In the air,
airborne?
yes, airborne.
Gotcha.
Airborne. And it's, I think it lives on surfaces as well, but mostly it's airborne. U.S. stocks plunged in after-hours trading after Trump announced broad tariffs starting at 10%, with much higher rates for certain countries. Within minutes of Trump's announcement, futures tracking America's flagship S&P 500 fell 2%, while the NASDAQ dropped 3%. That kind of fall not seen since the start of the pandemic. The sharp sell-off followed Trump's fiery remarks in which he accused foreign nations of ripping off the United States and vowed to impose tariffs on imports across the globe. The tariffs were higher than expected. Don't look at your 401k. Just don't. Senator John Curtis, Utah's Senator John Curtis, got a front row seat to Senator Cory Booker's history-making speech this week.
Oh, really?
25-hour speech, even offering his Democratic colleague support from the sidelines. While describing what kept him going for his 25-hour speech, Booker repeatedly referenced a message that he had received from John Curtis, a Republican, who was presiding over the chamber when the record was broken for longest Senate floor speech in modern history. It's not entirely clear what message Curtis sent to Cory Booker, with the Utah senator also describing it as simply words of encouragement. What he said to Booker will hopefully forever be their secret, Curtis's office told the Deseret News. But Curtis did have another moment of encouragement that was on full display. After Booker broke the record, Curtis allowed senators in the chamber to give him a standing ovation. Senate decorum rules prohibit senators from applauding or committing other types of demonstration, either by sound or sign. However, Curtis said he would allow this exception. He said, the best way to honor this great accomplishment is to make a rare exception and let you stand and show your appreciation. Curtis said, I will not constrain my fellow senators. And they all stood up and applauded and cheered Cory Booker. Let's see what else we have here. There's a company coming to town. Denali Therapeutics. Denali Therapeutics is advancing the fight against neurodegenerative diseases thanks to some pioneering work in methods to carry medicines across the blood-brain barrier, which is a critical step in addressing the root cause of a host of debilitating conditions. This is a San Francisco-based company. They had a grand opening last week for their new facility in Salt Lake. Now, I think this is great, but they're going to have to change their name. It's Denali Therapeutics. They're going to have to change it to Mount McKinley Therapeutics. It's not going to be allowed. Yes. I'm sure they'll have to change it. A judge has dismissed the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
With no chance of returning, right?
Yeah, without prejudice.
Yeah.
And finally, this.
Jesus.
I know, right?
How did that?
It's crazy, dude.
He is the worst.
Yeah, and he says he's still probably going to run for re-election. Let's see. It was District Court Judge Dale Ho who agreed to dismiss the charges. He denied the Department of Justice's request for the dismissal to be without prejudice, meaning charges cannot be refiled.
Yeah.
And that doesn't say here much about who he is other than it's a federal judge, doesn't say. And finally this, Butterfinger, the candy bar.
Yes. Yeah.
I like Butterfinger.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Sticks
all right.
to your teeth.
Been around for more than 100 years, and throughout the decades, the brand has seen changes. It switched ownership multiple times, underwent a recipe reformulation, launched a range of products, including the Butterfinger Crisp Bars, Butterfinger Ice Cream, Peanut Butter Cups, and even baking bits so that you can make Butterfinger cookies or cake without the hassle of chopping up a candy bar.
Yes.
Well, now, the brand new Butterfingers Salted Caramel Bar.
Ooh.
It debuted at the National Association of Convenience Stores show in 2024. It's finally hitting the shelves this month, according to Ferrero, the company that makes it. It is the first time in a decade the bar has seen innovation. The new Butterfinger will have the same peanut butter taste fans love, but rather than a chocolate outer layer, the bar will be covered in caramel flavored coating. It looks sort of like maybe it's like a nut roll, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the regular Butterfinger is going to be available still.
Oh, yeah,
right?
sure.
They're not
Yeah.
changing.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
This was a big showcase at a convention?
Yeah. Listen to this. This is a convention of convenience store owners.
Wow.
This is big news for them.
Yes,
man.
yes, they need something.
So how about this?
Huh.
I guess this is a restaurant, the Hive. They're going to serve a salted caramel peanut butter cinnamon roll made with new Butterfingers and a salted caramel Butterfinger flavored latte and oh no, that's it. That's all.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's too much.
I think that's great. The salted caramel Butterfinger is hitting shelves nationwide right now.
All right. Weather, traffic.
Weather, traffic. I don't know why that Butterfinger story depressed me.
Why? It's great news. This is exciting news.
We don't deserve to be in God's presence when stuff like that exists. Weather. We are potentially going to get some precipitation later today. It doesn't say if that's rain or snow. I'm going to guess maybe a little bit of rain. But we do have a high of 43 today and a high of 46 tomorrow. And things are going to be clearing up over the next few days as compared to these spotty sprinkles that we've been experiencing. Taking a peek at traffic, it has been green across the board for the most part, but there is a notable crash, I-80 eastbound near, where is it, just downtown Salt Lake. That is causing some issues over there, but really, it's pretty clear out there. Hell, even somebody texted in, commute from West Jordan to you, got here 10 minutes early. Traffic is really light. See?
All right.
That's what's going on out there, but you can always text me how light the traffic is at 33986.
Thank you.
Here's boner candidate number 3. He sleeps with his AK. It makes him feel safer. A 35-year-old man was arrested early Wednesday in Magna after police say he accidentally shot his friend in the groin with an AK-47. Jason Wayne Angel of Magna booked into jail. The 19-year-old man had been at Mr. Angel's residence to hang out, and the two began to drink some alcohol and smoke weed. Then the victim said, "I want to show you my new gun." Angel, or not the victim, the perpetrator. "Let me show you my new gun."
As every great night.
Sure, Mr. Angel
Yep.
pulled out an AK-47.
Always.
The victim told police he told Jason multiple times to make sure the gun was clear, but Jason did not listen. He said Jason then loaded the gun, but that he didn't know how to use it really. He manipulated the gun in a manner that the victim was not able to describe, pointed the gun at the victim, and shot him. Angel later told investigators, quote, "The gun just went off. I saw his arm and leg in the air, and he was saying, 'You shot me.' Doctors say he was shot through the victim's groin and into his thigh." When questioned by detectives, Angel said he always sleeps with his AK-47 in his bed in a case, and that makes him feel safer.
But he doesn't know how to use it.
Boner candidate number 3. He sleeps with his AK. It makes him feel safer.
All right. Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, DoorDash dancing lesson. A Utah DoorDash driver arrested and faces sexual battery charges. He allegedly touched a Taco Bell employee inappropriately. He said he was just trying to teach her to dance.
Yeah.
Boner candidate, Boner candidate number 1, we're going to tariff the seagulls. Apparently, Trump has implemented tariffs on several uninhabited islands as a part of a confused effort to establish equal trade.
But he didn't tariff Russia.
No.
Yeah.
No. And boner candidate number 3, he sleeps with his AK. It makes him feel safer.
All right. Let's get to it. Here we go. This is time to vote. Boner of the day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text. And text that to 33986. It's one way to vote. Another is to call Katie in the producer's booth. She'll take your live voice vote at 877-602-9696. Or you can go online, x96.com, look for the box that says Boner of the Day, April 3, 2025. Click and vote. And if you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. Now, as soon as we award Boner of the Day after these messages, it's the X poll, the question being, what is your favorite movie that you know deep in your heart is actually terrible? Your favorite movie that you know is terrible. Coming up on the X poll. All right, let's vote.
I went to the to see Dr. Cobble yesterday.
Yes.
And he said, let me take a little blood and see. I want to check a couple of things.
Okay.
So we'll do a blood draw. And I said, okay. And so his
blood. So you do have some.
There's the there.
Oh. Huh?
So his nurse, Allison, came in, and I like Allison. We're chatting, and and she sticks the needle in my right arm, the vein. Looks for the vein, finds it, all of that, sticks it in there, and we're chatting away. And she stops talking, and she said, "I'm in that vein. I can see it. I'm in there." And I said, "What?" She said, Have you like hydrated today? Are you drinking water at all?" Or
whoa.
And I said, "Well, I don't. I don't think I've drunk a lot of water today. But why? What's?" She said, "There's no blood coming out." I said, "What?"
I was joking.
And this is how you find your dad.
Yeah. I said, "What?" She said, I know. I can see the vein. It was very clear. I'm in that vein, and there is no blood coming out."
Were you numb?
No. And I said, "Well, I don't." And she said, "All right." Well, she took it out, and she went and she got another one. I said, "So you would try the other arm?" And she said, "Yeah." And then so I my other arm, and she stuck it in there. She's really good, by the way. She barely feel it, and I didn't look. I don't like to look anyway, but I didn't dare look.
Yeah.
And I said, "So is there any coming out of that one?" And she said, Yes, it's fine.
Was it glugging?
No, it just
was it
no glugging. No.
Now, and I see people in the chat room saying that's happened to them. That's never happened to me, and I was
a little unnerving.
And I said, "Well, why did that happen?" And Dr. Cobble happened to step back in at that point, and he said, "It just does every once in a while." He said, "It's not a big deal." But it would
have bothered me.
It bothered me at first. Yeah, it bothered me at first.
There's no blood coming. Doesn't it have to always be there?
Yeah, I said, what?
Isn't it not an occasional thing?
And now I don't really have a really good explanation for why it happens sometimes. I should find out. And I'm sure there is an explanation. I just haven't looked into it. But when I went home and I was talking to my youngest child about it, they said, "Oh, that happens to me all the time."
All the time?
Yeah. Which is, I said, "Really?" Yes, not every time, they said, but it's happened to me on several occasions. The blood draw and nothing comes out. It was weird.
You're in trouble if they stick the needle in you and it goes.
Yeah, if like a little like air comes out,
dust and air comes.
Yeah,
then know it's trouble.
That would be bad. But I guess I'm
Constricted vessels can be caused by dehydration.
Yeah, that's
so
what she asked me.
Just,
she asked me, "Have you hydrated today?" And I probably was kind of a little dehydrated. I have not been drinking enough water. I've been depending on seltzer, which actually I think is fine. You can drink seltzer. It hydrates you, but water is the very best.
You're going down that Gina Barberi hole.
There's water and Diet Coke.
Yeah, no, you really most people, experts are saying that 8 glasses of water a day thing is. It's just, you don't really have to do that. You can count coffee. You can count Diet Coke.
Well, but it says caffeine can restrict the blood vessels. So if you've had a lot of caffeine before a blood draw, that can make it.
Yeah, no, I haven't. And I haven't had, I don't think my veins collapsed or anything. It just.
This also says nicotine can cut. You haven't been smoking, have you?
Nope.
No.
And I hadn't been around the smoked chilies at Harmon's either.
986.
All right, 7:47. Time to award Boner of the Day.
And the boner of the day is brought to you in part by a delicious dinner.
Of what?
It was like enchiladas made with this shredded pork, and it was delicious.
I believe it. And by news making you feel like you need to flee the country, Travel Club 365 can help. From cruises and all-inclusives to bucket list adventures, your local travel pros can plan it all for every budget, all with no planning fees. Give Travel Club 365 a call or text 801-441-0102. That's 801-441-0102. TravelClub365.com.
Well, coming in a distant third
Very.
was DoorDash Dancing Lesson, boner candidate number 1, which I thought was a great candidate.
I did too.
Any other day. Or should I say any other year?
Yeah.
It was a battle between the imposing tariffs on uninhabited islands and boner candidate number 3, he sleeps with his AK. It makes him feel safer. Each one got over 100 votes, but eking out a win with 4 votes, with a 4-vote margin, it was boner candidate number 2. We're going to tariff the seagulls.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That's your Boner of the Day for today, April 3, 2025. Now qualified to be Boner of the Week. All right. Is this X-Poll sponsored?
I wish it was.
Well, it's X-Poll, the Radio from Hell X-Poll. You need to participate via the telephone. This is it's just like it's a little survey we do here.
Yes. You can text, but we want to hear your emotion behind it.
So it's a movie that you love, that you know deep down in your heart is really a terrible movie.
Yeah.
And I think we all have at least one. Mine is probably the original Thing, The Thing. I think
the
it's
original.
Called, the black and white one from the late 50s, early 60s. The Thing. I just always loved it for some reason. There are parts of it that are actually quite good, but really there's a lot of it that's really not good at all. But I love that movie, and I so I know it's not good, but I love it.
What about it's bad? I haven't seen it.
Well, it's so you've seen John Carpenter's The Thing. That's a good version of it. But the bad part of this is when you finally see the monster, you don't see him really very well, and it's James Arness, Matt Dillon from the TV show Gunsmoke. But he's just like wearing a costume and going, ah!
He's got a prosthetic head on.
Being a big monster.
Okay, all right.
It was pretty bad.
Here's a text from our old friend Marie Francos in California.
Hi, Marie.
She's having a baby. 1988, Kevin Bacon, Elizabeth McGovern. I'm ashamed. I've watched it probably 100 times. Now, that's a good example right there.
Oh, here we got line 1.
All right, let's see.
Now, what?
Interface going. What?
Okay.
All right, Devin.
Hi, Devin. Where are you calling from?
Sitting in front of a Maverick in Ogden.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So a movie that you love, but you really think it's probably a bad movie.
It's going to be Amadeus from 1984. I know a lot of people like that movie, including myself, but it's historically inaccurate, and there's a lot of giggling.
Yeah.
And really, it's probably not that great.
It won Best Picture that year, I believe.
think. I know, what's his name, who played Salieri.
Tom Hulce played Mozart.
Yeah, and the guy who played Salieri won an Academy Award.
He won an Academy
F. Murray Abraham.
F. Murray Abraham, yes.
I think, as I recall it being pretty good.
Yeah.
Historically inaccurate, yes.
Yes.
But,
If it wins Best Picture, that's kind of a hard sell for this segment.
Well, okay.
All right, well.
I failed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin.
Think on it and call back again. All right.
I mean, it's definitely a recent movie, but by far my favorite bad movie is the latest adaptation of Cats.
Oh, that one with
couldn't
Taylor
watch it.
Swift, right?
Yes.
I couldn't
That
watch
is, it's so bad. I love it. My wife, now wife, then girlfriend, called me up to go see that movie. And we were like kind of having a more safe period in COVID, and I felt like getting out. I ordered an Uber, and I got sloshed for that film. I was in the theater, and there was this kind of like hesitation of like, do other people think this is going to be good? Am I allowed to laugh at this out loud?
go to line 2.
Line 2, this is Milo. Hello, Milo.
Milo, what's a movie you love that's really, it's terrible?
You don't mess with the Zohan with Adam Sandler. I watched that like 1,000 times.
Wow.
I haven't seen it, but I can only imagine. It's
terrible.
Yeah, I bet you're right. It's terrible.
All right.
Thanks, Milo.
Thank you, Milo.
Funny.
All right, let's go to Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, thanks for letting me listen.
Yeah.
There's a show that I can't help but watch. It has a 2-part series. It's called the Betty Broderick story. It's a Lifetime movie where it's a true story where she murders her husband and his new wife because she was cheated on. And I know it's like a dark movie, but no matter how much it's on, I can't help but watch it because Meredith Baxter plays a very good, crazy, kind of out of her mind ex. So,
it's terrible.
I don't know.
It's a terrible movie.
It's a bad content. Well, I liked it, but it's not good content, of course.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay. 877-602-9696. Here's some texters. Labyrinth, the one with David Bowie from the 80s. It's not good.
It is. I tried to watch it and couldn't.
I'm sorry, Katie. It's not.
I couldn't. I couldn't watch it. I thought it was terrible.
I love David Bowie, but I just couldn't. Double Dragon, 1994, with Robert Patrick and Alyssa Milano.
That's a good.
That sounds bad.
It does. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Maximum Overdrive, the Stephen King movie. So incredibly bad that it's great. Starship Troopers.
Now, see, people argue. I've argued with people about that movie before. It is not bad. It's got good monsters, and it's a social commentary.
It's such a parody. It comes across as a bad movie.
It's so over the top. I think people just didn't. It's being re-examined now.
Yeah,
it's intentionally over the top.
And I think people weren't expecting that because there were humorous elements of RoboCop. It's the same guy who directed RoboCop.
Right.
There are humorous elements there, but not so over the top that it was crazy. This one was.
I found it entertaining.
Everybody didn't know quite what to make of it. Now here's Ed Brass is going to be angry at this one. Conan the Barbarian.
Not a great.
Not
movie.
a great movie. I'm sorry. The second one was better.
Yeah.
The second one was better.
I went to see Dumb and Dumber. I hadn't seen it when it came out theatrically, but then I watched it. I think I watched it on TV. I was expecting it to be awful.
Yeah.
And maybe it is awful.
It is.
But it's really funny.
That movie is hilarious.
Yeah. Randy is here. Hello, Randy.
Yeah, Randy, what's yours?
Red Dawn, if you remember the kids, the communists.
This is the Swayze one or the remake?
The Swayze one. The Wolverine, yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It is bad, you're right.
It's bad.
I mean, the remake's even worse.
Yeah.
Thanks, Randy.
My wife is chiming in. Splash. She knows it's terrible, but she loves it.
Is it terrible? I
saw it. It's not great, but,
John Candy's in it.
I thought it was passable, honestly. I thought it was fine.
Seems passable.
Anyway, we'll continue. We got some calls coming in, so, yeah.
A lot of texts.
We'll get to those as well. Oh, here's Ed Brass. All right.
What did he say?
Conan is the modern equivalent of Citizen Kane.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Whatever.
We'll continue the X poll. What movie do you love that you know deep in your heart is terrible? All right, 877-602-9696. Traffic, please.
Traffic, it's being buried underneath all the X-Bowl text, but I remember about 10 minutes ago people were saying in Utah County it is snowing, which reflects some of the traffic going on down there. Just before the Pointing Mountain as you're heading northbound I-15, there seems to be a lot of slowage, not necessarily a crash, but that is somewhat unusual over there. And then there is that crash, I-80 eastbound near the southbound ramp to I-15 around downtown Salt Lake City. There's a crash there causing some issues as well. And if you can text it to 33986, I would read it. But there is a whole bunch of X-Poll text also coming in, so that will be hard to filter out. But that is your traffic report.
All right, thank you very much. KXRK Provo, we will take a break. We'll continue the X-Poll after these. And then Beat Gina coming up as well. Well, it's Beat Nick today, but stand by for that. RenaissanceRanch.com.
It is really difficult when drugs and alcohol addiction is in the family. I know that, and from personal experience, and I know a lot of you do as well. And it's hard, so damn hard to reach out for help. But there is help there. It's Renaissance Ranch Addiction Treatment Center. This is a local, family-owned treatment center. Their program is designed for male patients specifically, and they offer residential and outpatient services. And the thing about Renaissance Ranch, and I've met a lot of these guys who work there, they are recovering addicts themselves, and they have great empathy because they know what addiction cycle is like and how hard it is to break. You can schedule the free consultation and read compelling success stories online at RenaissanceRanch.com. That's RenaissanceRanch.com. They have a full continuum, including sober and transitional housing. They now accept most private insurance, and they accept Medicaid.
The X96 secret.
Back with us, Frank Christ, Reaper, Grim Reaper of Celebrity Souls, and here he is. Frank, you weren't with us on Friday. Now
You know why?
Well, you had to park your scooter right next to the bed of, was it Glennis Johns?
No, David Soul.
It was David Soul. David Soul, yes, and Hutch from Starsky and Hutch, yes. Don't give up on us.
Give up on his baby. and tragedy.
Yeah.
Cindy Morgan.
Lacey Underall.
Lacey Underall from Caddyshack.
Oh.
And Tron. She was in Tron, too.
Frank is here. He comes every weekday unless there's a special circumstance like there was on Friday. Frank is here to play a game we call Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
He has given me a list of 4 actors, precious celebrities. And on this list of 4 actors, 3 of them...
Well, they're fine. They're just fine.
Frank has not taken. But one of them Frank has taken. One of them is dead. And it is the contestant's job to figure out which one of these 4 celebrities has passed. And who do we have?
Adam is here.
Adam, good morning. How are you?
Well, physically, I'm fine. Just fine.
Yes?
Thank you, Adam.
But on the inside, one of Frank's coworkers has already visited me.
Oh?
What?
What happened, Adam?
I'm dead on the inside.
Oh. Well, sorry to hear that.
Is there a dead on the inside, Reed?
Wait a minute. What could Adam...
Not in our division.
What could Adam win here, Gina?
Adam, you could win tickets to see Alkaline Trio March 21st at Rockwell at the Complex.
There, Adam. That could revive your soul right there.
Oh, if anything will, they can.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm going to read you the names of these actors. You tell me which one is dead. Because it's National Coming Out Day, Coming of Age Day, all of these actors are in coming of age movies. Here we go. Number 1, Tracy Letts started his career at the Steppenwolf Theater before making his Broadway debut as a playwright with August Osage County, for which he won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama and Tony Award for the Best Play. As an actor, he won the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play for the Broadway revival of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. The coming-of-age movie that he's in, Lady Bird, about a girl from a poor family who wants to attend an expensive college. Number 1, Tracy Letts. Number 2, Chaz Palminteri. He was in Bullets Over Broadway, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Also known for The Usual Suspects, Hurly Burly, Analyze This, and on TV, Wise Guy and Kojak. His coming-of-age movie, A Bronx Tale, based on a play that he wrote of the same name, A Bronx Tale. Number 2, Chaz Palminteri. Number 3, Fiona Shaw, known for her extensive work with the Royal Shakespeare Company. She played Petunia Dursley in the Harry Potter films. Other notable films include My Left Foot, Persuasion, and Jane Eyre. Her coming-of-age movie, The Tree of Life. A man's early childhood memories are paralleled by the creation of the universe. Number 3, Fiona Shaw. And finally on this list, Philip Baker Hall, known for his collaborations with Paul Thomas Anderson, including The Hard Eight, Boogie Nights, and Magnolia. Hall had supporting roles in a lot of films, including Midnight Run, The Truman Show, The Talented Mr. Ripley, and Bruce Almighty. He's in Say Anything, in which an underachieving boy falls in love with a smart girl. Number 4, Philip Baker Hall. Which one of those celebrities is dead, Adam?
I can't decide between 1 and 4. I think I'm going to go with 1.
I'm sorry. No, Tracy Letts is doing very well.
He's just fine.
He's fine. He's only 58 years old, but I'll give you another chance, Adam, because unlike Frank, we believe in second chances. Here we go. I'll read them again. Is it Chaz Palminteri, Shaw, or Philip Baker Hall?
It's going to be Philip Baker Hall.
Yeah, you should have gone with that.
Yeah, you were close.
Yeah. He died of emphysema at his home in Glendale, California in 2022. He made it to 90 years old.
Not bad.
Yep, there you go.
Good run.
All right, Adam, you get to see Alkaline.
At 33986.
All right.
Yes. True story, by the way.
Yeah.
Bobby in Mill Creek says he only likes good movies.
Mill Creek.
Mill Creek.
Okay, fine. Fine, Bobby, fine. Don't help with the X poll.
And Reed Smoot of the Smoot-Hawley Terror Pack was an official in the Mormon Church.
Anyone? Mormon Church?
Yes. All right. Let's see the X poll.
Let's go to Paco.
Hey, Paco. A movie that you love, but you know it's bad.
The North Shore. It was a terrible surfer movie, but man, I've probably seen that thing 100 times. But it was horrible.
Who's
in this?
Oh my gosh, Nia Peebles, I think, was one of the stars in it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then I can't remember the other two guys that were the main guys. Laird Hamilton, who one of the biggest surfers nowadays, played like the bad surfer in it and all that. But it was so bad.
Yeah,
all right,
sounds bad.
Sounds
Thank
terrible.
you.
Thank you.
It is.
Let's go to let's see. This is Emilio. Hello, Emilio.
Morning, Lord and Nick.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey. So, what's your movie?
It would be the Crow, the Wicked Prayer, the 4th installment with Edward Furlong in it.
Oh my God!
Lord.
Now, was that the one that was shot here in Salt Lake?
Oh, that I do not know.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Maybe I don't love it as much as I thought I did.
Maybe you don't. Time to rethink things.
Yeah, I would if I were you. Let's see, Crow 4. Who's in this?
Edward Furlong takes over the.
Tara Reid is in it.
Tara Reid.
Dennis Hopper.
I saw Danny Trejo was
Danny
also in
Trejo.
it.
Ortiz.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of people on it.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emilio.
Hey.
Let's see. Helen is here. Hello.
Hello, Helen.
Hi.
Hi. Movie you love that you know is terrible.
Dude, where's my car?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, I just stayed away from that one.
I never.
I did. The first time I watched it, I couldn't watch it, and then after that, it was just all sin, you know.
Yeah.
You just and now when it comes, if you see it on, you'll watch it.
You
right?
still watch it, right?
I do. It's bad. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Oh, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Justin is here.
How we doing?
Good. What's your movie?
It is Empire Records. Man, that movie is horrible, but it's 90s nostalgia.
I was going to say it's got a
Reminds me
good.
of working in a record shop.
It's got a good
Yeah.
soundtrack, but I've never seen the movie.
Who's in it?
Liv Tyler, Anthony LaPaglia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
There's Tobey Maguire's in it.
And a side note, Crow 4 was filmed here. I know this because Tara Reid was in town at nightclubs, and I actually got asked on a date by her. So.
Oh, really?
You got asked on a date by Tara Reid?
By her security guard, yes, sir.
Ms. Reid would like to. Did you do it?
Actually, it was she offered $100 to.
Did you do it?
Brant can't watch
I did,
though.
sir.
You went out with Tara Reid.
I did.
And
Of course you did.
And how?
Banana Joe's.
And how? And how was it?
She's a great actress.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Justin.
All right, Justin. Thanks.
Justin is a gentleman.
Justin
See
is
ya.
a gentleman. I want to hear more though someday, Justin. All right. Let's go to Rob. Hello, Rob. This one is not a good movie.
Rob, yes, how are you?
Good morning.
Good. So, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my movie's Remo Williams.
Yeah.
The movie, the whole title is Remo Williams, The Adventure Continues, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
and they intended it to be a franchise, I think.
They
but,
did.
But yeah,
One
One
and
of those
done.
movies where if I'm flipping channels and it's on, I watch it.
It's terrible.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on sometimes.
It's usually
Really?
on some cable network, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, Amy is here. Now, Amy, I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
What's your...
No, I absolutely love this movie. It's To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. And it's got Patrick Swayze,
Right.
Wesley Snipes,
Yeah.
John Leguizamo, and they're drag queens. It's great.
I enjoyed it.
Well, it seems like I
thought that their
I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, their performances are great, and Leguizamo will make you cry.
Absolutely.
So
I
it-
absolutely love it. But I tried to have my kids watch it, and they won't.
They think it's bad. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Amy.
That's funny, Amy. Thank you. All right, let's go to Mike. Hello, Mike.
Mike, this is a terrible movie. How are you, Mike?
I'm great. I mean, you could pick any 90s disaster movie, but
Yeah.
I'm going to go with The Core.
The Core.
Oh,
You know,
it's-
Aaron Eckert, Hilary Swank.
It's so
Stanley
stupid.
Tucci. It's just terrible,
Man.
but it's so good.
It is so stupid.
Now, this is the one where they get in a drill car or
Yeah.
something and drive to the center of the
Yeah,
earth
they're burrowing, yeah.
to stop something
That's
from
right.
happening.
And they have to jump. They have to jump start the Earth, right? They have to stick the car battery on the Earth and jump start it.
Yeah. Yeah. They got their jumper cables.
Man, that's terrible.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. That's
It is.
now. See, I got to watch
Yeah,
it.
thanks, guys.
I got to watch it when it comes on.
And the
next
special
time.
effects are lousy.
I'll bet they are. Yeah.
Man.
All right, let's go to Maria. Hello, Maria.
Hi.
Yes, what movie do you love that is a bad movie?
Never Ending Story. I absolutely adore it, but
Yeah.
come on.
It's
the snail, the racing snail, the man with the bat, and then the mom's name is Moonchild. I mean, come on.
It's and a traumatic movie for a lot of youngsters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
watching it as a kid and not liking it
Yeah.
even then.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to let's see. Oh, Adam.
Yes.
Hello, Adam.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Yes, Adam. Now, a lot of people consider this a classic movie.
It is classic. The Point Break, you know, I
It's-
love it, and it's not great.
It's not a
Both
good
of them,
movie.
the new and the reboot.
It's not a good movie.
I guess it really isn't a good movie. But what is it
Have
about
you seen
it?
the reboot?
No.
No, it's because you got Swayze and you got Keanu in the same movie. That's why it's beloved now.
Exactly. And the reboot is even worse than the original. It's terrible.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Let's do a couple of text questions. Oh, someone very angry about Amadeus earlier.
Yeah.
The Twilight movies are my guilty pleasure. Sarah and Orem.
Those are very good, very bad movies.
Yes. Grease doesn't hold up at all.
Oh, Gina would be.
I hated
great.
it. I had never seen it. Finally, Gina, remember we went to Broovies, got a copy of Grease, went to Broovies, and invited everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'd never really seen it, and I'd always slammed it. And it's terrible.
It's bad. It's not a good movie.
Let's see. Dustin, my hat guy. Repo, the genetic opera. It's bad.
Yeah, I've heard people talk
Yep.
about it, but I don't really know anything about
It's
it.
bad. And Ari the Hat Gal, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I adore it, but it is not aged well at all. I disagree.
I would disagree.
But anyway.
I think, if anything, Tim Curry and Meatloaf saved that movie.
I've got hats I need cleaned. I'll bring them in to you guys. Nacho Libre.
That's a good movie. What are you talking about?
The reason why is it makes me laugh every time, and I always find an opportunity to sneak in quotes from it. Now, see, Dr. Neal has one that's on my list. Strange Brew.
Yeah.
Bob and Doug McKenzie
Not
movie.
good.
It's got some really funny stuff in it, but altogether
Yeah, not
it's
great.
terrible. Terrible. All right, let's go back to some calls. Daniel. Hi, Daniel.
Daniel, what do you mean by this?
Hey guys, I don't know. Maybe it's
kind of cheating because they're literally watching a bad movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I always loved Mystery Science Theater 3000, the actual movie.
The movie, which is This Island Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Which special effects wise for its time was great, but
George Powell, I think, but it's not a good movie.
not a good movie.
It's really kind of boring.
It is actually, but
Yeah.
but the Mystery Science Theater version of it is great.
Yeah,
it's got all the good lines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like watching it with my brother when I was younger, and just I don't know, the wittiness of it's always fun, obviously, but it's just a terrible movie.
I always say if you're getting into Mystery Science Theater, that's where you start.
Yeah. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah.
You go.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was
Garrett.
going to say on the subject of intentionally watching bad movies, it's a Christmas tradition for me every year to burn through a bunch of terrible Lifetime.
Oh,
Christmas
those Lifetime movies.
My favorite is a radio-based one called Naughty or Nice about a city DJ who, after a scandal has to go to a small town and...
It sounds terrible.
It's bad. It's very bad.
Let's go to
Garrett, I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
Okay, Garrett. I haven't seen this movie, so I can't weigh in. Go ahead.
Yeah. Kung Fu Hustle is my guilty pleasure.
Why do you think it's a bad movie?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It didn't get great reviews, and it's just silly, and the Kung Fu is.
Yeah, I see that argument.
It's kind of fun.
Unrealistic.
Well, yeah.
But I'm right there with you.
It's kind of fun.
Now, why do you like it, Gary?
Well, like I said, it's kind of fun because it's so silly.
What? What? Give me a.
Yeah, that's my reasoning for liking it.
It's
so
almost
out there.
it's almost trying to parody without going over and saying we are a parody of these old kung fu movies.
It's kind of a Starship Troopers, but a kung fu movie in a sense.
All right. Thank you,
And
Garrett.
I texted in earlier the two that I loved when I was a kid that I knew word for word was Howard the Duck.
Oh,
and Commando.
Now I know Howard the Duck is terrible.
It
but
is
I
very,
love
very
it.
bad. Very bad.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's quickly go to Tori.
Hi, Tori.
Hi.
What's your movie?
My movie is Sausage Party.
Terrible.
I didn't see it.
Terrible. I feel like it's self-aware enough. It
I
gets
love
by.
it. I know it's not a very good movie, but the comedy is just very my style.
Exactly.
And yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
All right. On my list, I've got many, but Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's a good bad movie.
It's terrible.
Pretty bad.
But I love it. I'll watch it anytime it's on. And but at top of the list, I know it's a bad movie. 1941. Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg. Racist as hell, but I will watch it.
You know what I watched recently for the first time in a long time, and it really is not very good. Is Escape from New York.
It's not good.
It's the concept is good.
Love the idea,
but there's some things in it that are good.
But you want really bad? The second one, Escape from L.A.
Yes, that was horrible.
Terrible.
There was a sequel?
Escape from L.A. with Peter Fonda.
It's so bad you don't hear about it. That's how bad it is.
Peter Fonda surfing on a tsunami or something, as I recall.
Kurt Russell.
Was it Kurt Russell?
Yep.
Wasn't Peter Fonda in that too?
Escape from L.A. He might have been, but
yeah, bad.
Yeah.
Lots of reports coming in of snow on the southern part of the valley going into Utah County, which reflects in some of the slowage going on in the traffic down there. Northbound I-15 seeing some slowage around the point of the mountain, but I'm not seeing necessarily any incidents outside of regular slowage. So if there is something I'm missing out on, or more importantly, UDOT is missing out on reporting to me, text me. 33986 is the number where you can do so. It's all brought to you by Haster Games for board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice, paints, and so much more. Visit Haster Games at 6831 South State or HasterGames.com.
All right. Beat Gina coming up after these messages and a song. Well, it's Beat Nick today because Gina's not here. But what is the prize that we're playing for?
The prize is Mumford & Sons tickets.
Mumford & Sons tickets, 877-602-9696 is the number to call to play Beat Nick today. You will win, I'm pretty sure, these Mumford & Son tickets.
You have no faith in me.
I'm
like half and half.
I just know you. 877-602-9696. Call and play Beat Gina.
Are you ready to make a difference?
A Morsel of Murder with Gina Barberi. Radio from Hell on X96.
We finally have some closure in the Natalie Holloway disappearance from 2005.
Wow, really?
Isn't that amazing that this story has kind of been hanging in there like this?
Wow.
And I say disappearance because they've never found her body.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
They won't.
So, Joran Vandersloot has always been the main suspect in this case because they were seen leaving a bar together. This is in Aruba.
All right.
But they just could never quite pin it on him.
He would
They
never. He would never confess. She was only 16.
18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she was on some sort of
A school, yeah, like
school
a
trip or after graduation trip.
But everybody's been very sure he did this, but just could never quite. So
he had friends that kind of ratted him out.
Well,
right?
and he had a super rich dad that he lawyered up right away, and they kept him out of jail.
But he did go to jail, didn't he?
He did. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Okay.
So yesterday, he pleaded guilty to federal extortion charges related to the Alabama teenager's disappearance and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Now you're saying extortion. What's that?
It's blackmail.
So he's yes.
I know what it is.
So he basically got away with killing her.
Yeah.
They couldn't pin him on him. But he decides he wants to make some money. So he gets a hold of Natalie Holloway's mom.
Okay.
And says, for $250,000, I'll tell you what happened to your daughter.
Did his rich father stop supporting him?
I don't know. And so, of course, mom and lawyer went, this is blackmail. And but this has been going on a long time. It's finally come to trial. Now, why has it been going on so long? Well, Joran kind of disappeared for a while, and he made his way to South America. Peru, to be exact.
Okay.
Where he killed 2 more people.
Good Lord.
Now, why did he kill these people? They wouldn't have sex with him. Killed them. So it
was justified.
So he was caught for those and has been in prison ever since for those. Okay. While this extortion trial has been going on the side. Finally, as part of it finally putting this to rest, he has said, I will tell you what happened.
What happened to your daughter?
This is since 2005 she's been waiting.
And he also says he's found Jesus, right?
Well, yeah, right. Here's what he said.
Okay.
Natalie wanted to go back to her hotel that night. He arranged for the 2 of them to get dropped off a little farther away from the hotel so they could walk back, and he might get a chance to talk her into having sex with him.
Okay.
As the 2 walked along the beach, they began kissing, and then Holloway told him to stop. He, of course, didn't, so she kneed him in the crotch, and that made him mad.
Okay.
He took a cinder block, and they've been fairly sure all along that this is how she died because they found the cinder block. And he killed her with the cinder block. And then there's the ocean. So
And the
he
ocean just
walked
took her out.
Walked her body out into the ocean, and
The tide took her.
never to be.
And that's why they've never found her
She's
body.
food for fish.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this
He's
guy.
a great guy. But he found Jesus. So
That's what he says. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm not the same person today. I've given my heart to Jesus.
So it just shows you it's never too late to accept the Lord into your soul,
and
Not
everything's
so
fine.
much.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, actually, what did her mom say? It's kind of funny. She's like, you look like crap. I don't think you're going to be around very long or something like that.
Wow.
I'm surprised somebody will get him in prison.
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
I mean, he's already been there a while, and he's going to be there for a while. Interesting side note.
Yes.
Natalie's mom, Beth, I don't believe they're still together, but for a while, she was dating JonBenet Ramsey's dad.
What?
The hell? What, did they meet at a convention?
I mean, kind
They
of.
probably got together through
Yeah.
unsolved
Yeah.
the unsolved crime.
Yeah.
The green room of unsolved mysteries?
Now, they claim to just be friends, but there are pictures of them kissing in restaurants and stuff.
Is he? What does he like? Look like? Is he?
He's quite a bit older than her. She's in her 40s. He's in his 60s.
I've seen her, and she's a fair, a nice-looking, blonde, mature blonde woman.
Mm-hmm.
She and her husband, unfortunately, divorced in the aftermath of all this. That
often happens.
Often happens, but I don't know if they're still together. But they were. Just an interesting side note. They were.
Okay.
There's something there, though. You just gotta think that there might be something there, some kind of because. John Benet Ramsey, there was always the suspicion that the brother did it, the older brother, right?
Younger brother.
No, he
older
was
brother.
old. He was older. Yeah.
Was that your suspicion?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were never able to prove anything, and his parents stuck up for him.
Yeah.
They said, "No, we don't think he did."
Yeah.
It. But
Never came clean.
Wow.
Thank you for that morsel of murder.
Thank you.
Will you look into that Jean Benet Ramsey thing? I want to know if he's still around. And,
Oh yeah. The dad?
No, the brother.
Yeah, he's still around. I mean, we still don't know.
Vandals. My girlfriend's dead.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Yes, it's time for Beat Nick today. And is it brought to you by anybody?
Yes, it is. Love live music? Tired of paying too much for tickets and beers? Experience great live music and adult beverages without paying stupid prices at Utah's coolest venues. Don't miss Tom Petty tribute band Petty Theft, April 18th at the Stateroom. Get tickets at thestateroompresents.com.
Well, we'll all have fun beating Nick in just a moment.
Oh,
hey.
He's going to really be in a pickle this time.
Oh.
I'm your announcer, Johnny O. And speaking of pickles, for holiday time or party time or really any time, it's Aunt Jane's Iceberg Dills. Aunt Jane's Iceberg Dills. Holidays, parties, they go together. Holiday festivities call for something special, and iceberg dills are extra special. Extra special tantalizing flavor, extra special zesty crispiness. What a pickle! Only Aunt Jane's has the secret recipe. Only Aunt Jane's makes iceberg dills. Take a bite. What a pickle. And now, here's your holiday time, party time, anytime host, Kerry Jackson.
Want one of them pickles.
Aunt Jane's Iceberg Dills.
I'll take one.
Sounds nice.
The randomizer has picked a contestant. Nick, you'll be going up against Carla today.
Carla.
Are you there?
Yeah.
All right, Carla.
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you the advantage in the game. You call it heads or tails.
Tails.
All right, let's see what happens here. It is tails.
Ooh,
Carla.
congratulations, Carla.
That means you go first, Carla. The first question is for you to answer on your own. Multiple choice, pop culture trivia. If you get it correct, you get the point. If not, I'll allow Nick to steal the point away by answering the same question correctly. We will go back and forth like that till one of you gets 3 points. All right. First question is from the movie SLC Punk.
Nice.
Filmed here in Salt Lake City.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Salt Lake City, SLC Punk. In SLC Punk, who does Steve-O say started punk rock? Who does Steve-O say started punk rock? Sorry about that. Is it 1?
You're good.
Is it 1, Paul Anka? Is it 2, Neil Sedaka? Is it 3, the MC5? Or 4, he doesn't care?
I'm going to say 4. He doesn't care. That sounds more accurate.
He does not
He
care.
doesn't care. I don't give a care.
You don't give a care.
That's one for you, Carla. Now let's see what Nick can do.
All right. Nick, Frank Darabont agreed to make the movie The Mist with Dimension only under the condition, one condition. I'll make the movie under one condition. What was the condition to make The Mist? Was it 1, he got first chance at the craft services table?
Okay.
Is it 2, Marcia Gay Harden had to leave her middle name off of the credits?
All right.
3, the kid stays in the picture? Or 4, no matter what, they wouldn't change the scripted ending?
4?
They would
Look at
not
that.
change the ending.
Look at that.
All right, that's a point for each of you. Now we go back to Carla.
Carla, Glenn Close, the actress Glenn Close trivia. What is Glenn Close? What is Glenn Close allergic to? She always has to use a fake prop in movies. Is it 1, children? Is it 2, Corinthian leather seats in a car? Is it 3, whiskey? Or 4, tobacco?
I'm going to say... I'm going to say tobacco.
Tobacco is correct.
All right,
yes.
good guess, Carla. Good guess.
Good one.
2-1. Nick, you can tie it up here.
Let's do it.
Michael Fassbender trivia.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence and Nicholas Hoult began dating on the set of X-Men First Class.
Okay.
Who did Michael Fassbender start dating from that movie? Is it 1, January Jones? Is it 2, Zoe Kravitz? Was it 3, Nicholas Hoult, but they had to keep it a secret from Jennifer Lawrence? Or 4, Stan Lee?
Who was the second option again?
Zoe Kravitz?
Was it Zoe Kravitz?
That's his answer.
That's Johnny, thank you.
That's all right.
Nice.
Good ruling.
Nice.
2-2. All right, Carla.
Carla?
You could win here.
Carla, in X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, Quicksilver asks Magneto if he knows karate. Well, Michael Fassbender, as Magneto, replies, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. What is that a line from? He's quoting something there.
Okay.
Is it 1?
Yeah.
Is it 1, Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 3? Was it 2, Earth, Hitler, 1938? Was it 3, Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas? Or 4, a James Brown lyric in his early 70s hit song, The Payback?
That's a James Brown lyric, I'm pretty
James
sure.
Brown.
Wow.
Damn it.
Well,
I knew that
Carla.
You knew
nice.
that one?
Yes. I
Nice.
love James Brown.
Nicely done, Carla. You win. Beautiful.
Congratulations, Carla.
What did she
I
win?
guess you won tickets to see Mumford and Sons playing over at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater this upcoming June 14th.
Show a little excitement, will you?
The one thing I knew was stolen from me.
Thank you, Carla.
Carla, hang on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hang on, and we'll tell you how to get those.
Congratulations.
I've got to get home. Mrs. Ola and I are playing another round of Hide the Pickle.
I knew it. All right. Big Boy News now brought to you by.
Brought to you by 2 epic shows, 1 mind-boggling experience, Laser AC/DC Rock Legends. Brought to you Life in Lasers. Laser Taylor Swift Volume 2, bigger, brighter, and better than ever. Now playing only in the Handsome Dome Theater. Pre-sale tickets are on sale now and are going fast. Get yours before they're gone at clarkplanetarium.org.
Anton Fuqua's upcoming Michael Jackson biopic, which is brilliantly titled Michael,
There you go.
may be split into 2 movies. As a result, the Lionsgate and Universal Pictures International project will likely push its current October 3rd release date. The film stars Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson, who makes his screen debut in the film. Coleman Domingo and Nia Long will play family heads Joe and Catherine Jackson. Miles Teller will play Michael Jackson's attorney and advisor, John Branca. Oh my gosh. This came from the climate change file.
Is it good?
No.
It never is.
Two of Greece's most popular tourist destinations, Paros and Mykonos, have been left submerged in water after what's been described as biblical disaster rainfall.
Really?
Throughout the islands.
Mykonos?
Mykonos and, Paros. Dark skies loomed overhead. Heavy rain quickly turned the streets into torrents. Cars were being swept away in the deluge.
Wow.
According to local experts, for several hours, driving through the main roads in Paros was impossible as streams swelled and floodwater surged through the streets. The extreme weather conditions made it difficult for rescue teams to access hard-hit areas, prompting authorities to advise residents to stay indoors as the rain was described as dangerous and out of control. School, you get the door, Nick. Yeah. Schools have been closed throughout the island, thank you. And officials on Paros said that 13 people stranded in the storm were taken by firefighters to their homes, adding that no one had been reported injured or missing, fortunately. Mykonos was hit with the same stuff, and it's just, you see cars floating away. It's just astonishing.
Demetra says the water's been rising in the Mediterranean for years, and the storm didn't help any.
For some people, being in nature is good for the soul. That includes people like David Horn and Cameron Lyman, who enjoy taking their dogs out for walks near Parley's Creek. People from all walks of life, all interests, take advantage of it at various times. It's part of our heritage, part of the wealth we had, said Mr. Horn, David. It so happens that the creek was previously a riverscape restoration site for Sage Land Collaborative. This is a nonprofit organization that works to better the environment through several projects, with some of those projects focused on stream and river restoration. Sageland Collaborative's executive director, Janice Gardner, is a certified wildlife biologist. She explained how, for the past 6 years, the group has worked with private landowners, partners at state agencies, volunteers, federal agencies to help heal degraded streams. And she says, we've been doing these things and low-tech methods that help heal our streams. Now these projects are on hold because of federal money.
Yeah.
We currently, so many of the people in the restoration community have contracts that are frozen, and our work is impacted. Sageland works on stream restoration sites all over the Great Salt Lake and Weber River watersheds. Those projects in particular are the ones most deeply affected by the cuts, and to think that it could just go away and get worse over time is just demoralizing.
Millionaires and billionaires need that money.
Yeah.
You don't need it for your restorations.
2 participants of a DUI training for police in February in North Ogden were taken to the emergency room, while others became severely impaired. We talked about this once before, to the point that they were not able to participate in the training. North Ogden administration has been pretty tight-lipped about the wet lab training, which involves volunteers consuming alcohol to reach a certain blood alcohol level, so that police can practice field sobriety tests and other DUI investigative techniques. City Manager John Call declined to answer questions that were sent to him by KSL, including the date that it happened. But KSL made a public records request. They finally got some answers about this. Apparently, a couple of people were so drunk they had to go to the hospital. The chief was put on administrative leave as they investigated this wet lab training. It was apparently they just got really hammered, and the training. These were city employees and some police officers and other people from the community, and apparently it just went way too far. The U.S. stock futures and the dollar tumbled after Trump unveiled Liberation Day tariffs that were larger than investors had expected. Trump strode up to the lectern at the White House shortly after 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Liberation Day, and they had trumpets sounding as he walked up.
Wow. Wow. That's some Kim Jong-un stuff there.
Yeah. But he announced 10% across-the-board tariffs on all goods entering the U.S.
Except from Russia.
Except from Russia.
It's a beautiful word, tariff.
So there you go, and the Standard & Poor's and everything's tumbling right now.
Don't look at your 401k.
No.
Well, it's going to be rough for a while, guys. Until the good happens.
Listen, I'm just glad I have my Social Security. Oh, wait.
The James Beard Award, considered the most prestigious honor for American restaurants and chefs. A Salt Lake City bar has been named as a nominee.
Oh, really?
Essentially a finalist for the prestigious James Beard Award. It's Water Witch.
Oh, good.
At 163 West, 9th South, in the Central 9th neighborhood.
That's good.
It's up against a bar in Chicago, one in Oregon, one in Philadelphia, and one in Vermont.
They do good work down there.
Also a finalist, he has been a finalist in the past, our good friend Ali Sabah at the Mazza restaurant.
Yes.
He was a James Beard finalist last year or year before, I can't remember. Mazza has gotten into a bit of hard time, and they're looking for people to help them. Now, Ali says, we're not a failing business. We want to continue. No matter what the outcome of this fundraiser, it makes me feel rich in friends and in support. He said, our restaurant is doing fine, but I have a debt load that's just too high. He's making money at the restaurant, but from the COVID, and he had a couple of other restaurants that he had to close, he's now got a debt that's too difficult for him to pay down. He'd like to raise $500,000, and there is a GoFundMe. If you just go to the GoFundMe page and look for Save Mazza, it's MAZZA. They've raised $73,000 so far. So, and it's a great restaurant, and he's a good guy.
It's delicious.
Yeah. And let's see. Is that all? I think that's about all I've got. I think.
That's okay.
No.
All right. That's it.
Sports, weather, traffic.
Sports. Well, all eyes were on Monday Night WWE when Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio beat Braun Breaker and Penta. The Intercontinental Champion had Balor in line for a spear, but he moved out of the way, and Breaker cut his own partner in half on accident. Braun was then dumped outside and taken out by a sliding dropkick from Mysterio. With Breaker down, Balor climbed to the top rope and hit him with a coup de grace on Penta for the win. And then after that, we cut to Chad Gable in Adam Pearce's office. Adam Pearce, the WWE Raw general manager, where Pierce said that it's a shame. Let me back up. Gable claims he's still sick and isn't cleared to compete, which Pierce said is a shame because Raw is going to his hometown of Minneapolis next week. And then when Gable tried to backtrack, Pierce said El Grande Americano will have to compete in his place. Significant because some people theorize that El Grande Americano might be an alias for
a large cup of coffee.
Gable himself.
Oh, Chad Gable.
What?
So he might inadvertently have
what
to
language
compete.
is Nick speaking right now?
English.
Is this
It's a top sporting event, Bill.
I don't mind you doing wrestling for the sports, but that was for Monday, okay?
Yeah.
Today's Thursday.
Well, there's so much to go
All right.
through, and I only have so much time.
Try to keep it topical.
All right. That is your sports. Taking a peek at traffic. Weather. Let's do that before I get to traffic. We could potentially see some spotty snowflakes coming down over the next couple hours. People are reporting getting that this morning in Utah Valley. It's clear where we're at the moment, but it is cloudy above.
It's just gloomy.
It's gloomy. We have a high of 43 today as we go into the afternoon, high of 46 tomorrow, and these spotty sprinkles will be tapering out as we go through the next few days. Taking a peek at traffic, hitting the refresh button. I'm not seeing any major incidents out there on the road this morning, but who knows what I know, because I'm here in a radio studio. Kind of Dr. Seuss myself there. You can always text me your own traffic reports to 33986.
All right. We will take a break. We'll be back after these. I think Gurky is lurking.
The lurky gurky?
The lurky gurky? I think so. Stand by.
Listen to Radio from Hell and Home when you
Was a boy, a very strange enchanted boy.
That's Kyle Brown, longtime participant on the Radio from Hell show, longtime friend of the program. Knew him from the time he was a skater kid in high school. Yep. He was on our show for many years. We had kind of a falling out over a couple of things, but we heard that Kyle had taken ill and had taken very seriously ill with ALS, which is a fatal condition. And we got back in touch with Kyle and wanted to have him on. And he can't talk very well anymore, so he's been writing us letters. And here's the latest installment of a letter from Kyle Brown. I used to paraglide. That is the thing similar to hang gliding, but with a system similar to a parachute.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
I remember when he used to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he. As a matter of fact, he would go from Farmington Peak. He would go off the top of Farmington Peak and paraglide and just float around and eventually land in his own backyard, which I thought was. Anyway, the thing is similar to hang gliding, but with a system similar to parachute. Basically, you run off of a mountainside as the chute inflates, and eventually your feet leave the ground and you're flying. And who doesn't want to fly? I mean, come on. Okay, I admit it's not for everyone, and ironically, I'm afraid of heights, but I love paragliding. When people found out that I was a paraglider, they would often ask, do you have a death wish? Oh, to the contrary, I do not. I had the opposite. It was scary, but also incredible. Partly because it was so scary. It's like a haunted house or a roller coaster. We do it for a rush. But the haunted house and the roller coaster, they're just like a beer. Paragliding's like meth, so it's way better. 4 people die from amusement park rides every year. 3 people die from paragliding, so I was fine. And just so you know, 95,000 Americans die from alcohol-related causes and 15,500 from meth. So I guess I'm saying you should paraglide and do meth? Actually, both are safer than ALS, since almost 25,000 people will die from ALS this year. Well, that went off the rails a bit, didn't it? He writes. In other news, the Iron Man documentary about me was nominated for a Sports Emmy.
That's cool.
Although it's a long shot up against Super Bowl specials and a college basketball show, let's just give it to the dying guy playing the hard sport. We have a saying in triathlon, you know. If football was hard, they'd call it triathlon.
Wow.
Wouldn't it be funny if I had an Emmy? I have so many talented friends and family in the theater. I was picked on by all the jocks at Viewmont High School, and dumb old me ends up with an Emmy. Yep, the stupid skater boy gets the Sports Emmy. It would be my incredibly funny finale to life. I think it'd be hilarious and fitting. Iron Man wants to fly me to the awards ceremony in New York on May 22nd. I said I'd go, if I'm still alive. My daughter graduates on May 24th. Our cat is having kittens in about 2 weeks. I don't have time for this death crap. Yeah. Listeners, make good use of your time because most of you have some. Well, maybe you don't have some. You might get hit by a car later today. So be careful. Love you all. Cheers, Kyle. Look over there.
You have an Emmy, don't you, Bill?
I do.
At 33986.
All right. Is this a sponsored feature now?
In spirit, yes, but in a literal sense, no.
All right.
Who's that journalist? The pickle guy. Gurgle. Gurky! Gurky! Radio from Hell on X96.
Yes, he is an ink-stained wretch from the Salt Lake Tribune, Robert Gurky, columnist and reporter, and he's amped up today. He's raring to go.
Bringing the energy.
Yeah.
It's all those Aunt Jane's pickles I've been eating.
Yes. The vape ban. You wanted to talk about that. Explain what happened there.
Yeah, so last year the legislature, they wanted to stop kids from starting to vape. And so they enacted this bill that bans the flavored vapes, the watermelons, the fruit punches, bubble gum, all of those. But the vape shops sued over it because they said it's going to put us out of business. 90% almost of our business is selling these flavored vape or flavored juices and so forth.
They have nicotine in them.
They have nicotine in them too, but they say they sell them to adults, and it helps people quit smoking in their arguments, and it's 90% of the business. And they said if you take this away, we're going to have to close up shop. So they sued over it. The state agreed to put the bill on hold until a federal judge ruled on whether it was legal for the state to ban these. Last week, the judge said, yeah, the state can ban these. He blocked part of the enforcement because under the bill, the state regulators could come in and just look through the business's papers, their safes, their vaults, all this stuff. And he said, that's too much. That's a warrantless seizure. So I'm going to a warrantless search. So I'm going to block that. But the rest of it can take effect. So as of last week, almost all vape products have been banned. Everything that's not tobacco and menthol flavored is banned.
Okay.
And everything above a certain level. So there's 72 total products from 6 makers. It's the Vuses, the Enjoys, the Juuls that are legal to sell.
Okay.
So right now, as of now, these shops are kind of trying to figure out what the heck they do because the state and the counties haven't told them how they're going to enforce this. But they're operating in this sort of limbo gray area that they don't know if the state could come in and fine them and take away their products.
Well, if they have to go out of business, what are they going to do with these buildings, these old 7-Elevens,
these old
gas stations?
They're going to turn them into Spirit of Halloween shops.
Probably.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, adults like these flavors.
Yeah. Well, and the audits that they've done, when they've done these sting operations and inspections and so forth, it turns out like the gas stations have a much higher rate of violation than these vape shops do.
Yeah.
Because the vape shops, I mean, that's their business, and they don't want to jeopardize that. The punishments, the fines are a lot higher for the vape shops than they are for the gas stations. But it doesn't, in their mind. The other thing that's kind of interesting is, the whole premise of this was we want to stop kids from vaping or starting to vape. But we've seen vaping rates among teens going down over the last 5 years. It's gone from about 12% do it on a monthly basis down to about 7.5%.
When I was a kid, when I started smoking at the age of 15 or 16 or whatever it was, that's the gas station is where you would go.
Exactly.
To the cigarette machine. They had those old. You'd put 35 cents in the machine. You had those pull handles.
Or they had them everywhere.
Yeah.
You'd go to the Village Inn or the Denny's, and
it's in the gas station, and they weren't. They can't watch it all the time.
No.
So you go buy cigarettes there.
Exactly. Just the idea of like a child who is vaping and is somehow getting access to it, like they're doing it only because of the flavor. Right?
I think
that's what they think.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do say that when kids do vape, they usually do use those flavors because you don't want tobacco tastes bad.
Of course, no,
I'm sorry,
it does not.
But like I said, adults like those flavors. They just and the vape shops are good about policing this. I don't understand why this was necessary.
There was a bill this past session that the vape shops were supporting that would have just put some really strict regulatory, they had to have cameras and they had to store all the and everything had to be marked. So if kids do get it, they can find out where they bought it, and then go back and punish them that way. That didn't pass. The House of Representatives really wanted this to stay in place and take effect. So, the state is working through it. I talked to the Salt Lake County yesterday. They said they're waiting for the state to tell them how they should be enforcing this. But once they get that green light or those rules, they'll go around and start.
Let's go to fluoride. Let's fluoride now. Is anybody suing the state? By the way,
no.
Over the fluoride?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know that they can really sue over it. I mean,
I don't.
The they could potentially say that, this is taking away local control. But a lot of them,
you're harming our children.
Well, yeah. But Salt Lake County, the Salt Lake County Council passed a resolution supporting the removal of this.
They
And
did?
so-
Oh, geez.
yeah, they did. It was on a party. It's 5 Republicans, 4 Democrats, and so it passed 5-4.
Yeah.
Their argument is that we've had this for 20 years and we haven't seen really any difference between Salt Lake County, or we haven't seen data. They haven't really gathered the data.
Yeah.
But they said they haven't seen data that says that, Salt Lake County's teeth are considerably better. But, if you look at every place that's done this before, we're not the first place to take fluoride out of its water. In Alaska, they did it. In Calgary, they did it. In Windsor, Canada, they did it.
In the
Israel,
year
they did it.
2000, Calgary took the fluoride out of the water.
Yeah, it was
and I think it was 2000.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who voted to take it away is now saying, "What a horrible mistake we made," and we're putting it back.
They're putting it back in
because their kids' teeth are falling out.
The percentage, the rate of kids who needed dental surgery, to be put under to have dental surgery doubled. And it's especially higher among the younger kids because they've gone their whole lives now without having any fluoride in their water. And so you've got these places that have looked at it. All of those places I mentioned, they took it out and they immediately saw increases in dental problems. Now the Utah bill says, well, yeah, you can go to the pharmacist and get pills.
Right.
And I think some parents might do that.
I think as I recall, my parents did do that.
It was pretty common before we had fluoride. And Utah's got this weird history with fluoride. I mean, going back, we could go back 50 years, and there was one of the first ballot initiatives that ever passed was saying that the state can't put fluoride in water statewide. They left it up to the locals, and the locals all said, "Yeah, we want it." In Brigham City, for example, they've been fluoridating their water since 1965.
Really?
A couple years back, they put something on the ballot to say, "Hey, should we take it out?" And 2/3 of the population said, "No, we want it in there. We've seen it as beneficial." There was a dentist. I'm sorry, well, he's an orthodontist up in Brigham City, and he works in Brigham City and Tremont, and he told the city council when they were considering this, "I can look in your mouth and tell you where your kids are from." Because
exactly.
The kids in Tremont don't get the fluoride, and the kids in Brigham
Where
City
did this
do.
come from?
Where did this come
Where
from?
did it come from that it all of a sudden got taken out of it?
This has been something that's been around for a long time, but it's really picked up steam with Robert Kennedy becoming head of HHS and the whole "Make America Healthy Again" movement.
Which is the opposite.
Yeah, and so you've got yes, Utah's the first in the country to do this, but you've got other states now doing it, Tennessee, Florida, Texas.
Who was just waiting for this moment in history here in Utah to go, "This is our chance. Now we can get the fluoride out of the water"? Who was it?
Well, coming out of COVID, and the whole anti-vax movement, you had all these groups that sort of rallied around that, and then so once they've moved on from that, this is sort of the next thing on their agenda. And this came, Utah Parents United was a big mover behind this. The Eagle Forum was a big
Eric
proponent of it.
Mustos.
Yeah, and so and most of not most of the state, 52% of the state had fluoride because you had Salt Lake, Davis, Brigham City, Helper. That covers 52% of the population. The rest of the state wasn't impacted by it. And most of the people who were pushing for the removal of it weren't even from any of these areas that are impacted by it.
Boy.
So this takes effect next month, May 7th. So just bottle your water and keep it on hand. I guess
ridiculous.
And hopefully people go get the pills, but or the get the fluoride in other ways, but. For those who don't or can't, we're gonna start seeing some impacts. From what I was told, the University of Utah is going to be tracking this, closely because it's a natural experiment. You've got it now. We take it away. What happens?
We know what happens.
Well, 25% reduction in cavities in places that have had fluoride, and most of the country has it. But again, like I said, Tennessee, Texas, Ohio. Arkansas, Montana, all of these states now have had bills or have bills in their legislatures to follow Utah's lead.
I mean, I'm a living example of it working. I was born after it was introduced, and I've never had a cavity in my life.
Yeah.
And he eats Uncrustables all the time.
All day, every day.
Me not so lucky.
Yeah.
I grew up without it, and my teeth have been terrible my entire life. My wife, great teeth. She grew up with it.
I was at my dentist yesterday, and I asked him what he thought about it, and He said he wouldn't be able to quote me on it. It was there. I mean, and you know, he also said, you know, we're going to make a lot more money, but that's not really why we do this.
Two boats.
Yeah, it's a matter of, you know, them wanting to make sure that kids have good teeth and aren't, and it's not just cavities. I mean, these can lead to some more serious
other health problems.
Dental health is directly linked to your actual health, and it should be covered by insurance. That's not separate. It should be just at one. Anyway,
but Governor Cox said he talked to dentists, and they said that it doesn't make any difference. I'm not sure which dentist he talked to.
Yeah, he talked to one dentist who was supplied by RFK Jr.
He talked to the 1 out of 5 dentists that don't recommend shirtless tongue.
Exactly.
I think he lied.
Or he lied.
I think he lied.
Anyway.
Well,
all
thank you.
Thanks,
Robert
guys.
Gerke, Salt Lake Tribune,
Thank you, Gerke.
sltrib.com is where you can find Gerke's work.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks.
All right. Traffic.
Crash, I-15 southbound near 13th South. That just popped up, blocking the right shoulder over there. A whole mess that is currently ongoing, backing things up all the way to 8th South from what UDOT is reporting to me. But that is the biggest issue out there on the roads that I'm seeing at the moment. You can text me. 33986 is the line where you can always send your traffic reports. But unless something big happens, that's my last one for the day.
All right. Thank you. Unless something happens. All right. We're going to take a break, play a song for you. After that, it's, the Boner Recap Game. Easy to play, easy to win. All you have to do is tell us who won the Boner this morning. If you were listening, you know. If you weren't listening, you could guess, but it was close today, so I wouldn't guess.
Yeah.
I would cheat. Go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting April 3, 2025. Click on there. It'll say winner next to the winner. What is the prize today?
A bucket of goodies.
Huh?
We don't have an. I got to go assemble something.
A chicken bucket full of goodies.
Yes.
The chicken bucket does not contain chicken.
No. They're right over there. Chicken bucket full of goodies. All right. For the Boner Recap, 877-602-9696. Get ready to play and win. Coming up after these messages and a song. Stand by. Did you know you could stream Radio from Hell?
The Donut Critic.
Yeah.
Let's, and this is a feature we'll be doing every day on the show, right? This is going to be 5 days.
I should.
It's 5. Benjamin Lee is with us. He is, if you want to find out about Benjamin, just look for The Donut Critic.
On social medias.
On social media, yep.
You can communicate with him, donutcritic at gmail.com, and you're on all the Instagrams and all of that stuff. And so just a background quickly before we get into these delicious desserts. Why do you do this, and how did this all come about?
Well, I just had a real strong love for sugar.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was just eating sugar to eat sugar, but it wasn't satisfying.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I got to start prioritizing that and finding the best sugar out there. And so that's really how it was born, as I started critiquing them more and deciding what really was the best thing.
If you're going to have dessert, have a really good dessert.
Yes.
And you started with donuts, but it's branched out into all kinds of desserts?
All kinds of desserts, because Utah is just full of good desserts, not just donuts. And so it really did branch out pretty quickly.
But you did bring us donuts today. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so this is a new shop in Utah. It's called Bismarck Donuts. It's down in Orem, Utah. It honestly just opened on Saturday. And I'm already deeming it the sidecar of Utah.
These are warm. Did you put them in the microwave?
I did warm them up because I
Are
had
they right out of the oven?
I had to pick them up last night, so that's why they're warm.
Now, explain what you mean by the sidecar of Utah.
So Sidecar is in California, and it's just well known to be one of the specialty shops of the nation, one of the best. And they do really good on salty and sweet plays. They make donuts fresh throughout the day. Their flavors are known to be really deep and rich, and I found that at this place. So
which one should we try first?
Well, I just tried the blueberry one. It's fantastic.
Which would you suggest we try first?
Yeah, let's do.
Doesn't matter?
No, I would try the blueberry.
Okay.
It's got a lot of fresh blueberry.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're both really good.
Wow. So the wild blueberry has a little bit of a tart berry to it, and so it just makes for a really good experience, especially because there's some salt in.
It's not overly sweet.
No, it's delicious.
No,
not overly sweet. Just really nice.
And then the maple bacon, that is fresh bacon that they've made. A lot of donut shops will just use like the Costco crumble.
Sure.
Don't do that. Yeah, this is fresh and really delicious.
So Bismarck Donuts in Orem is they only
Gina,
have one location there?
Yep.
Are you not trying the?
Well, you know I don't do maple.
I know because you don't like maple.
Yeah.
But there's
But
bacon.
maybe, but you
I
should
know.
try it.
Doesn't the bacon override your?
You
Should I
should
try it anyway?
Yeah.
All right.
Gina, no.
What?
Don't try it. It's too dangerous.
Give it to.
It's too damn dangerous.
Give it to Dawson. Or
No, it's very good. It's really good. I think you may change your
Well,
mind.
these are
about
both
maple.
great. So
Now,
Bismarck
to
donuts.
wash this down, you've brought a drink. Now tell us about this drink.
Yeah, so this is also a Utah company. It's called Drink Shogi. So this was released a few weeks ago, and it is premium chocolate milk.
Shogi apparently is Swiss for chocolate.
Yes. So this story is a really cool one. He has just been on this mission to get the best chocolate milk, and I
Wow.
think he's done it. It's super chocolatey,
Wow.
and it leaves you with a taste of cocoa. Where you get grocery store
Yeah.
chocolate milk, and it's like drinking heavy molasses. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Yeah,
really
this is cocoa. This
Yes.
definite cocoa.
And
Does
a
this
local-
heat up? Does this heat up?
yes,
bet it
yeah,
would,
they
yeah.
do hot as well. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
And a local. This is in Orem as well.
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can get those at Macy's and Dan's, and they're spreading out through other stores. You can go to drinkshogi.com to see all the locations.
This maple bacon donut
All right, I'll try
is
it.
superb.
It really is good.
Because it's not the fake maple that you get
Okay.
in other places.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's
See,
really.
when I have, I don't hate maple. I don't love maple, but when I use maple syrup, but I always have
Oh, that's pretty good.
real maple
Oh,
syrup.
great. Pretty good. That blueberry is just. I love that blueberry. Okay, well that's
And
okay. So
what
that's
else is this on the?
Sip Shogi chocolate milk. All right.
Yep.
And what's this little thing?
So
here?
I've also brought in new Built Bar puffs. So they reformulated their chocolate and their puff formula, and it's really good. And I feel like it replaces candy bars. I know a lot of people are on the health kick right now, and so you need to be really particular about what you're eating. And this is a good treat. It's
So
only
if you
about
want something sweet, but you want a protein bar as well, this is a good choice.
That's really good.
Yeah, so I feel like this new formula is just all about the chocolate, all about the flavor, but you still only get 140 calories in that bar, which is
And it's-
sometimes half of what you get in a candy
It's
bar.
kind of like a jelly, jelly sort of thing.
Yeah, and this consistency is a lot better. The puff is better than the bar for most people. So if you're going out and trying a protein bar, try the puff from Built Bar.
Built Bar puffs.
And I totally agree with your philosophy. Don't waste my time with an average dessert. If I'm gonna have dessert, let's make it worth my while.
You have the same policy like with hamburgers too.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm not going to have just a crappy fast food. If I'm going to have a hamburger, I want a really good.
Why would you have any other philosophy?
Exactly. Don't waste my time with an average crappy whatever.
But with these diets, people are going to start binging and kind of snapping back. So you got to start preparing for that and thinking through what's the dessert I really want to eat to make it
Exactly.
Well, I think it's going to be this maple bacon donut.
All of these win.
So it's Benjamin Lee. He is the donut critic. Go to just look for him on Instagram. That's where I think there are a lot of great pictures and things of you and and the desserts you and your family. And
Are we going to have a link on our website for all this?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Sorry, I surprised Katie with that. Yeah, we do that.
She's been dealing with technical
and
problems.
and then you're going to be coming in every day, right?
Every day? No, I do plan every month, so you can definitely plan to eat something good next time I come in.
Excellent.
Every other week.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Every
thanks,
week.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The donut critic.
Donut critic. Thank you very much.
This is dangerous.
You know, right?
Now I can't have lunch today. Now that's what has happened.
That's what it's boiled down to.
Poor you.
This is what has happened. I have to. I can't.
Don't we all feel bad for her?
I cannot do lunch today.
Yep. There's more out there?
More out there.
Oh, good.
Salem says he likes that song. I don't know.
In Salem.
In Salem.
My hometown. Well, that's an If You Know, You Know song. It's Soup Dragons.
That's right.
Divine Thing. Soup Dragons.
Imagine Soup Dragons.
Imagine Soup Dragons, yes.
Is it time for the Boner Recap?
It is, in fact, time for the Boner Recap.
Now, Nick.
Yes.
You have assembled a Radio from Hell chicken bucket full of prizes. A chicken bucket does not contain actual chicken.
Correct.
What's in there?
But it contains a whole bunch of do-goodery with a Radio Shack crank radio.
Wow.
That doubles as a flashlight.
Oh, good for the upcoming need of survival times. Yes.
The apocalypse.
We have a book, The Society of Unknowable Objects by Gareth Brown, of which
He's very good.
Unknowable about.
He's very good.
And then just an assortment of X96 stuff. You know, Radio from Hell stickers, the new Radio from Hell mug.
You got the mug in there.
Nice in there.
Okay.
Is it the white one or the
white one? Yes.
The kind of greenish.
It's got a. Hold it up there. Let me see.
It's got kind of an odd logo.
It's like the equality logo that we did.
Oh yeah.
But without the equals in it. But it's blue and yellow and.
And then there is a Boner T-shirt in here, but if it's not your size, tell whoever is helping you out front when you pick it up, and they will swap it out.
Well, with any luck, then, Richard will win all of these fabulous prizes.
Hello, Richard.
Well, hello, guys. Thanks for letting me listen.
Yeah, It's our pleasure, Richard. Always a pleasure to have you listening to the show. I can just feel it when you're out there. Richard, you heard all those fabulous prizes you stand to win there?
I can't wait. I'm just excited.
All right, I can tell.
Especially for the mugs. I love you guys' mugs.
Yeah,
that's what I live for.
And this is a brand new one.
Yeah, this is the diner style.
Yeah, I got the black one, so this will be good. This will go with my decor.
It's a self-defense mug. It has a lot of weight to it. If you get it at the right angle, you could do some damage.
You could hit somebody in the temple with that, or if you're at the temple and you hit somebody with it. Now, I'm going to read you these three boner candidates, Richard. And if you tell me the right one is the winner, you'll get the prize. And I bet you do it. So here we go. Boner candidate number one, a DoorDash dancing lesson. A Utah DoorDash driver has been arrested and faces sexual battery charges after he allegedly touched a Taco Bell employee inappropriately multiple times. He told her she gave him the order to dash with. And then he said, "Hey, look at the menu." And she turned around and looked at the menu, and he put his hand on her butt, and he told the police, "I was just trying to give her a dancing lesson. I was going to show her how to dance." He did it twice inappropriately, and his wife was there too, which I thought was odd.
Yeah, it was.
Boner candidate number two: we're going to tariff the seagulls. The Trump tariffs have been implemented. And they've been implemented on several uninhabited islands off the coast of Australia. No, there's nobody there to pay any tariffs. Nobody at all, just seagulls. And boner candidate number three, he sleeps with his AK. It makes him feel safer. This is a story about a guy in Magna who was showing off his new AK-47, and he shot his buddy in the groin with it. Accident. It was an accident, man. It was an accident. But he's going to be serving some time for that, I'm sure. So those were the three candidates. Who was the winner, Richard?
Well, they were all good boners, and there's so many of them now. You almost need to go back to doing the 6 again a day. But I hate saying his name. The orange guy, number two.
Number two, yes. Yep. Won by 4 votes over number 3.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, Richard. You can come and get.
You.
I think you can come and get this prize anytime, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's right there.
It'll be at the front desk, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hang on the line, and Katie will give you more information.
Clear it up.
Like addresses and all that stuff. All right? Okay.
Way to go, Richard.
Yeah.
So, gee, I wish I had another Uncrustable. Nick gave me one of his Uncrustables today.
Oh, now you like him?
Yeah, I was going to say, at the beginning of the week, you were very anti-Uncrustable.
Well, I was, but I'd never really tried them.
But you were anti them.
Yeah, because they're... And I still should be anti them because I'm sure they have all kinds of...
Sure.
The print is too small for me to read, but
anti-crustable.
They have all kinds of chemicals in them, I'm sure.
Well, I hope you've learned a valuable lesson.
It says here that this is unbeatable The softest bread imaginable, baked right here in the USA.
You got to admit the bread is pretty good for those things.
It's they taste fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not pumping them up like they're the best thing on the planet, but hey, they get the job done. They taste fine.
You eat 2 of these a day.
I do in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I have to force feed myself. I don't get hungry.
You could make your own though.
Yeah, but
As
for
Carrie
that
pointed
price
out
point,
earlier.
it's easier.
Well, I don't know. I mean, how much is a loaf of Wonder Bread?
Like $20, $30.
He has no idea. No idea how much.
Gosh,
bread
I
is.
don't know. 20.
So these are
You Trump? What are you?
These are $8 for a pack of 10.
Something like that, around that number. Yeah.
So they're 80 cents a piece. I'm betting you could make a full sandwich for
Less.
40 cents.
Yeah,
maybe
or less.
This is business talk on Radio from Hell.
No, this is just practicality.
Economics.
And then you take a pint glass and put it over the
Uh-huh.
top, and then it'll seal.
Or a biscuit.
Sure.
And it'll take the crusts off, and it'll seal.
I cook so much food, I can have one thing that's just prepared for me.
Do you
all right?
cook a lot?
I do cook a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your specialty?
The other day I made a chicken asparagus Alfredo pasta. Is
that your specialty?
I don't know what I have as a specialty.
Well, a go-to. You go, I'm going to cook this and it's good every time.
I talked about it the other day. I make those chicken nachos, and I'm really proud of those.
Okay.
You just fry up some chicken, dice it up, spread it on some nachos, throw it in the oven with some refried beans. I'm allowed to have snacks, all right?
Well, I didn't say you couldn't have.
I can have snacks.
Did I say you couldn't have snacks? I didn't say that.
You didn't. But...
No.
But you had an oppressive tone.
Yes.
That's how he...
No,
I just
a tone you've started since the beginning of the week.
No,
I'm
being anti-uncrustable.
Yes.
I'm just curious as to what your go-to, besides nachos.
I like to mix things up. I don't like sticking with a dish. But that being said,
You
I do have
follow
like seasonal
recipes?
dishes. I make a pretty good chicken and dumpling soup when it gets cold.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I try to stick with the crock pot Mormon meals where I can.
They cook all day.
They do.
When you
And
come
they're,
home,
They're actually very nice.
Everything smells wonderful.
And it's good for that house full of kids you have.
Yeah,
Yes.
very much so. Look, I got a basset hound that'll eat anything.
Indeed. All right, so we will take a break. We'll be back. Big Boy News after these. Stand by.
You can watch radio.
Okay, here's a quiz.
Okay.
A quiz, all right.
A quiz. Who said it? Elon Musk or Mr. Burns from The
Oh,
Simpsons?
okay.
Deranged millionaires.
I got 67%.
Or billionaires.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'll read you the phrase and you guys guess.
Okay.
Oppression and harassment are a small price to pay to live in the land of the free.
That sounds like Elon Musk.
Oh, oppression and spread in the land of the free. I think it's Mr. Burns.
It is Mr.
Oh,
Burns. Okay. The politicians and unelected bureaucrats who stole our liberties should be tarred, feathered, and thrown out of town.
That's Elon Musk.
It's tarred, feathered, and thrown out of town. It's Mr. Burns.
Musk. I'm not the thief. The government is. Every year you make hardworking Joes like my reporter friend here pay income taxes.
Musk.
Burns.
Burns.
We're just back and forth.
Yeah. If there was a way that I could not eat so I could work more, I would not eat.
Musk.
Yeah, Musk.
You're both correct. Musk.
Yeah.
I should be able to run over as many kids as I want.
Well, that's Burns, right?
Yeah.
Burns, correct.
Okay.
I should be able to run over as many children as I want.
I said Musk because of his cars. But
Smithers.
There will be no Mars if we let them take our freedom away.
Well, that's Musk.
Musk.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun.
That's Burns.
Yes, Burns.
Burns, correct. That's my lesson for taking a vacation. Vacations will kill you.
Burns.
Musk.
Musk.
Family, religion, friendship, these are the 3 demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business.
Burns.
Musk.
Burns. I would tell those people they will get to see their families a lot when we go bankrupt.
Musk.
Burns.
Musk. If you can take advantage of a situation in some way, it's your duty as an American to do it.
Burns.
Burns.
Burns, correct. And finally, morons, pathetic morons in my employ, stealing my precious money.
Morons, pathetic morons in my employ, stealing my precious money, Smithers. Burns.
Yeah.
Burns, correct. Frightening.
That it
It
a
is.
couple
That
of
it-
them it was difficult to.
That it was hard to determine.
Yep. Oh. Deranged billionaires.
Twitter still seems to be running.
Sort of.
For now. There was some guy at Harvard or one of those big schools who said he predicts a week.
Yeah,
and it'll just die.
Before it just
yeah, I've heard that
implodes.
There are people who are saying it's not going to be around in a while.
I'm trying to enjoy it while I can.
I'm staying until it burns
I
to the
am.
ground.
I am the bitter end.
Yeah, he's all kinds of money lost. Billions of dollars lost already. Advertisers staying away.
It's hard to fathom, really, why he would do this.
Well, Bill, he didn't want to.
He was forced to
mouthed
buy it.
off and
Yeah.
said, "I'll buy it," and they held him to it because you
Yeah.
can't do that and not follow through.
That's the part everybody keeps forgetting.
well,
he was forced to buy it.
Yeah, he did not want to buy it.
Again, he also knew that
Mm-hmm.
that if he made that kind of a
All right, 9:20 right now. Time for some big boy news and opinioendo. Brought to you by.
Nothing. It's all paved out of the way. News
What?
bright and clear.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Well, okay.
All right then. Fine. Okay.
Nick, I've been doing a little bit of Uncrustable research. Do you know how many varieties of Uncrustables there are?
There's a lot, actually.
There are 8, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Peanut butter, grape jelly, peanut butter, strawberry jam, peanut butter, and raspberry spread.
There's a Nutella one, I think
Chocolate
I've
flavored,
seen.
yeah, hazelnut. Then there's peanut butter and honey. I love a peanut butter and honey sandwich.
Oh, yes.
I had one just yesterday.
Really?
As a matter of fact.
It's been a while since I've had one.
Peanut butter and honey Uncrustables, just plain peanut butter, reduced sugar peanut butter and grape jelly, and reduced sugar peanut butter and strawberry.
Yeah, you need to stop being anti-crustable and hop on the
don't
Uncrustable
Doesn't
train.
it seem like I'm there?
It seems like he's joined your cult.
I am really Uncrustable. They make them with wheat bread. Some of them are wheat bread. And by the way, they make their own bread. They don't use some other.
Oh, they don't just use Wonder Bread?
Is that what I'm tasting?
They bake their own bread every day.
Wow.
And immediately freeze it so that that it's delicious all the time. And there you go, Uncrustables.
They need to pay us for how much we've been talking about
It's
them.
food for children.
Yes. And athletes.
That's true. I read that same story that NFL players are just crazy for them, and they buy boxes and boxes and boxes of them and have them in the clubhouse or the locker room. I mean.
It sounds like you want to hate it, but you keep coming back.
Nick, I'm. You say I keep. It sounds like I want to hate. I've been doing nothing but praise the.
You're right. You're right. I got PTSD. I
Learn
apologize.
to read the room, buddy.
You're right.
Okay. Senator Cory Booker set a new record for the longest Senate speech in history, 25 hours. Booker's effort was physical and mental feat. It required stamina, willpower. He did not eat food or drink water during his marathon speech, nor did he sit down. He stood the whole time. Booker turns 56 later this month, an age at which many men can't even avoid going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. You know, you have to get up and go to the bathroom. How did he do this? Well, he said, I don't want my doctor to get mad at me, but I really did spend some time dehydrating myself beforehand.
Really?
Yeah, so that I didn't have to go to the bathroom. My challenge was that my strategy was to stop eating. I think I stopped eating on Friday. So let's see, he did this on Monday and Tuesday, is that right?
Yeah, Tuesday. Monday night into Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday. So he said, I stopped eating on Friday, And then I stopped drinking the night before I started the speech on Monday. So I didn't have any liquids at all. And he said, so instead of fighting or figuring out how to go to the bathroom, I just ended up really, unfortunately, dehydrating myself, and I didn't go to the
So he didn't
have to go.
Didn't have to go.
Booker remained standing, could not leave his desk for the entire length of speech. To help prevent Booker from sitting down, a Senate aide took away his chair. So there you go. And it was quite a remarkable feat.
Mm-hmm.
He acknowledged it was not easy, and it was even harder than in his 50s than it would have been in his 40s. A lot of this is physical challenges, definitely making it that long for a guy. As I said, he said, I was just, in my 40s, I would have maybe done this for 50 hours, but I couldn't do it now. Let's see what else we have here.
Oh, the big question, though, is he and Rosario Dawson still dating?
Oh, I meant to look that up.
Or are they stopped dating? Look that up, Nick.
you look that?
You've got Gina's computer there.
Yeah.
It's prone to these kind of things.
Actor Matthew Modine showed love to Val Kilmer as he reflected on a tense chance run-in with Val Kilmer that may have led to Modine starring in Stanley Kubrick's classic Full Metal Jacket. Modine was among those who had paid tribute to Kilmer after his death on Tuesday. He shared an excerpt from his 2005 memoir, Full Metal Jacket Diary. In the excerpt, Modine described seeing Val Kilmer clearly cursing at him while Modine was eating with David Alan Grier at The Source, a former vegetarian restaurant in Los Angeles.
Oh.
Now, David Alan Grier, who worked with Val Kilmer in the 1984 comedy Top Secret, approached him and after sharing a laugh, gestured for Modine to come over. Well, Val stopped smiling. His face twisted up like he'd just eaten a lemon, Modine wrote. He later continued, Val lets me know why he's upset. He's fed up with me getting parts that he should be playing. Kilmer was talking about the lead role of Full Metal Jacket. Private James T. Joker Davis, for which Kilmer had recorded an audition. But Modine said he didn't know anything about getting the role, and neither did his manager when Modine later called him. Modine had recently shot another war movie, Birdie. That was a pretty good movie, actually. And suggested director Alan Parker send Kubrick some of his scenes. I hope Val's right, Modine recalled, thinking. Weeks later, he received a script for Full Metal Jacket with a note from Kubrick requesting that he call him after reading it. So Kilmer was a little upset that he had gotten the role instead of Val Kilmer, but he said we were friends after that.
Just to follow up from the last story, Rosario Dawson dated Cory Booker from 2019 to 2022.
So
they're
but they're not anymore.
Not anymore.
All right.
In an unprecedented 4x4 order, Fox, the network Fox, has picked up 4 20th TV animation series for 4 seasons each, renewing animated stalwarts The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Bob's Burgers for 4 more years, and confirming American Dad's return to the network after an 11-year break. Also with a 4-season order for that show, solidifying its status as the top linear home of adult animation. The network, that's a dumb one.
They will never let Seth MacFarlane rest.
No, ever.
The network called the pact with Disney Studios, which had been in the works for months, a mega animation deal. It will take...
I was going to say it is crazy that American Dad got picked back up by Fox because it was on TBS for a period of time.
It will take all 4 animated comedies through 2028-29 broadcast season. The term is not arbitrary. It matches the length of the $1.5 billion extension Fox signed with Disney, with Hulu, in November that also runs through 2029. So there you are.
All right.
South Park is returning to Comedy Central.
Yes. After 2 years. I
Yeah. It's the season 26, which featured 6 episodes, premiered on the Paramount Cable Network in 2023, ran through March. There were 3 specials written and directed by Trey Parker and Matt Stone that aired between October of 2023 and March of 2024. But they're back to Comedy Central. John Krasinski movie called Fountain of Youth
Mm-hmm.
John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. There is a trailer out by that. It was written by James Vanderbilt. Fountain of Youth follows estranged siblings, Krasinski and Portman, who partner on a global heist to find the mythological Fountain of Youth. They must use their knowledge of history to follow clues on an epic adventure that will change their lives and possibly lead to immortality. Because, as everybody knows, the Fountain of Youth really does exist. Nobody just nobody knows where it is.
It looked to me, I watched the trailer, it looked to me kind of like they were trying to channel some Indiana Jones.
A little bit, yeah.
I haven't watched the trailer, although I'm looking at a still from it, right? It's going to be on Apple TV, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a still, and you're right. Yeah, it does.
It shows them at the pyramids searching for probably the Fountain of Youth. Do you think that's what the scientists recently found underneath the pyramids? Did you see that story?
Oh, no, I have it here. I think it's, they found a they think they found where they found a big burial chamber.
They used some LiDAR system to, I don't know how true it is or not, but it was blowing up on the internet recently that there could be much deeper caverns underneath the pyramids.
Yeah. Let's see. So Joe DePew says here, the man who inspired Bruce Springsteen's 1985 hit Glory Days. He has died of cancer. He was 75. Just a moment to mark the passing of Freehold. Oh, that's Freehold, New Jersey. Freehold native and a ball player, Joe DePew, Springsteen wrote on his social media. He was a good friend when I needed one. He could throw that speedball by you and make you look like a fool. Glory days, my friend. Springsteen and DePew grew up together in Freehold, where they played in the same youth baseball league. In 1973, they ran into one another at a bar in Jersey where they reminisced over old times, including how Springsteen was the lesser baseball player of the two. Many years later, Springsteen would write about DePew and this encounter in the first verse of Glory Days. I had a friend was a big baseball player. Back in high school, he could throw that speedball by you, make you look like a fool, boy. That song was one of Bruce Springsteen's first hits. Went to number 5 in the
from the Born in the USA album.
Yeah.
Which was a big album for Bruce.
Yeah.
Weather, we are getting some snowflakes apparently across the valley this morning. Utah County was specifically experiencing that from our Texture Inner's own perspective. Nothing here, but we could potentially get some more of that later in the day. That will taper off, though, and over the next few days, the on and off weather that we've been having with the sprinkles and the snowflakes, yeah, that's going to basically be stopped. High of 43 today, high of 46 tomorrow. That is your weather.
Thank you.
Listen to
the oddest laws in America.
What?
Rules, all kinds of things. These are laws that are on the books in various states. So, for instance, in Alabama.
Well, is it
it's a list.
Is it a proper list?
I think
Okay,
so, yeah.
all right.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
This is a law on the books in Alabama. You may not dress as a member of the clergy unless you are one. You
What about Halloween?
No, it's a misdemeanor.
I want to be a pregnant nun for Halloween. I can't do that?
In Alaska, you can't operate motorcycles or loud power tools at night. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? That's
all right,
not so strange. Arizona, you don't interfere with a claw game, a claw machine, or a crane game. You know those. Yeah, the claw. It's illegal to mess with them. If you do, it's a misdemeanor. Arkansas says, forget about beeping your horn after 9 p.m. at sandwich shops.
At sandwich shops
Specifically. It says here, no person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m.
Don't disturb my sandwich.
I don't understand that.
I'm having a before-bed sandwich.
In California, you can't eat frogs that die in frog jumping competitions.
Huh?
That's a waste of a frog then, right?
Well, you just throw it on the heap. Colorado, you can't use upholstered furniture outside.
Why not?
I don't know.
You can't
So you
use
have to use-
upholstered furniture outside.
Oh, here I bet this is the reason. It's outdoor furniture lobby people saying you must buy outdoor furniture.
I think it's because it just looks trashy. That's
can't-
why I made that law.
You can't use upholstered couches, mattresses, or in the front or backyard or the side yard.
I'm an elected official, and I've decided that looks trashy.
Now, this is a good law. In Connecticut, it is against the law to sell silly string to a minor.
Oh yeah, we're
Well, that's
anti-silly.
a good idea.
You know,
'cause-
I think
What about
only,
mascots?
I think only mascots can have silly
No,
string.
they're dangerous with silly string.
and that stuff's flammable, you know.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
I've told that jazz bear, you stay away from me with that stuff.
I'll punch him.
In Delaware, you can't whisper or use profane language in a place of worship.
You can't whisper in a place of worship.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're supposed to only talk out loud?
It says no person may disrupt religious worship by noise, talking, or whispering, or by rude or indecent behavior.
But how do you tell your kids to knock it off?
You just shake your fist at them.
Tell them they're going to get arrested.
Don't feed the alligators in Florida. That's not odd.
Yeah.
Georgia, you can't have chickens crossing the road.
Well, it's just a good idea.
But they need to get to the other side.
Well, I'm sorry.
They really don't need to.
You have to carry them.
What kind of business do they have? What business are they carrying out across the street? Really?
And in Idaho, you can't carry a red cane or a white cane unless you're fully or partially blind.
That's right.
You can't dye a baby chick in Illinois.
Yeah.
In Indiana.
Radio from Hell.
All right.
Bare hands.
Yes.
So I know, Nick.
Yeah.
I know you have kind of a fragile ego.
Very much so.
You know, you take things to heart too much. And,
yes.
And you fret over things, right?
Yeah, I'm the X96 certified bad boy, but I'm also sensitive.
You are.
Uh-huh.
But I've got something here that might make you feel better.
Okay.
Make you feel better. Like when you get home, you'll be able to look in the mirror and say, "Doggone it,
yeah,
you're okay, Nick."
All right. I'm hesitant because everything you present me is usually an argument against that.
There you go.
Well, he's not wrong.
I'm nothing but kind to you.
I'm not saying you're necessarily mean.
What are you saying?
I'm saying if there is something I'm saying if you're putting me in the spotlight, it's not usually a good one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, let's see what you got.
All right, hit me with it.
Bring it.
Here it is. I always adore Gina.
Uh-huh.
And this is from a listener.
Okay.
Suzanne. I always adore Gina, and I miss her when she is not there.
I do as well.
And Nick is so enjoyable. I just love it when he sits in. His laugh always makes me smile.
Oh.
And his humor is awesome. All of you have fabulous laughs. Thanks for always making my day. Suzanne in the Westest of Valleys.
Thank you very much, Suzanne. That's very nice of you.
Doesn't that?
Nice.
Yeah.
You see, now you can you when you get home, you'll tell your wife all about it. You want me to forward this?
She'll say, "Who's Suzanne?"
Yeah, that.
You want me to forward this to you so that
so I can hang it up.
Yeah,
and yeah,
and you can read it verbatim to your wife when you
unironically. That is unbelievably kind. Thank you, Suzanne. I highly appreciate that.
And it's I think it's the kind of thing that you need.
And I like being here, but you know what I like more?
Not being here,
not working.
Yeah,
not working at all. So I don't know how you guys do this every single day. It is
for 39 years.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, it is unbelievable. You're absolutely correct. I go home. I leave here usually around noon. Sometimes a little earlier. If it's really noisy around here, I go home early. But I get home and I take off my coat and I sit down and then I just put my head in my hands.
You can
and just go, oh, jeez.
I've seen that. I've seen that. My desk is across from Bill's, and
Yeah.
I've shown up to the office seeing Bill with his head in his hands before.
Just like, oh God. Yeah, it's I mean, no, now I'm not going to start complaining. It's a difficult thing to do.
I'll complain.
Well, I mean, we keep getting told we shouldn't complain because, we don't work in a lumber yard or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I would just say that the people that do those jobs couldn't do my job.
Fair.
And I couldn't do their job, so we're even.
I'm good at complaining. I would argue I have this job because I'm good at complaining.
Here's a funny one from Berg in the chat room.
Yeah.
When X96 turns 40, you should give away $40 million.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, Berg.
It's a good idea, but,
Remember, one of the prizes we handed out today was a hand crank
radio. Yeah.
It's a valuable radio.
Very much so.
That it's from the olden times.
Mm-hmm. Of when I started and I was teching remotes. I was told if they break, just grab another one from the pile. That was our protocol for because we would have to broadcast the station at remotes, but we don't want to spend money on stuff to broadcast at the remotes.
Of course.
So it was use the Radio Shack hand crank radio for a period of time, and if it breaks, just snag another one from the pile of them we had at the prize bin downstairs when that existed.
But Nick, this is an antique. This is valuable.
No, this is.
This
is.
That's a valuable
see
antique.
The dust and etchings around the corners? Richard won?
He won that.
You're winning history, Richard.
He'd be able to sell that for a lot of money.
Of course.
Let me see this here.
Don't grip it too hard.
Oh, yeah, it's Radio Shack, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sirree.
Yeah.
Does it matter which direction you...
well,
no.
Don't break it.
Yeah.
It's recharging. I'm not going to break it.
That's the sound of it working. That's the sound of science, Bill.
And as I recall, those things you crank it all up, and it'll hold a charge for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, you could get like a song out of it at the remotes, and then you'd have to get right back at work, hand cranking them again.
I don't recall that we ever had to do that.
Really?
No.
Well, you were when I started. I don't think you were remembering much at the time.
No, what I think is the case, Nick, is that they made you do that. The rest of us did not.
Katie was
We didn't
pointing
have
at
to
me
do
like
that.
I was right. Yeah, she worked that job for a period of time as well. She's agreeing with me.
The thing is, though, Richard, I can't even get the flashlight to go.
Well, I think there's a switch to start the flashlight.
It's not.
Oh, and it's...
How much more do I need to crank it?
More, Harry.
More?
Whatever the answer is, it's more. Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going. There you go.
Well, that sounds cranked.
Does the radio work? You should turn it on and have our show play on a delay through the speaker.
No, nothing is working. I think
Congratulations, Richard. You've won a non-working radio.
You better crank it through the... We're going to play some commercials and a song here.
Okay.
You keep cranking, and let's see if that actually works. Because if it doesn't, I feel bad for Richard.
I got to crank with one hand and write a promo with another, so...
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Maybe I'll spell you.
The red recharging light is turned on, so...
Oh, yeah. But I was just trying to get the flashlight to work.
Wait.
Nothing.
Oh, no.
I got a little static there.
We got to turn that off.
There we go. There's a light. Okay, it does work.
Yeah, you had to swap it. There's a battery hookup.
Oh, is that the problem?
So you got to change it to the dynamo switch for the hand crank part.
Well, somebody tell Richard that when he gets it. All right. Well, we will
give him some handwritten directions, will you, Nick?
It works.
Okay, all right.
You can stop. All right.
Do you know Uncrustables has savory sandwiches, too?
Does it?
Do they still, or did they stop making it?
I think they stopped.
Yeah, see, the texter was telling me that they used to have savory, and then they stopped.
Thank God.
Yeah, they don't look good.
No.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back after some messages and a song to crawl toward the exits. Stand by.
Went to the East Coast.
The East Coast.
Went to visit my sister-in-law, Karima, who moved to Maine, but we thought, why don't we fly into Boston and kind of take our time and work our way north and check out some stuff there we haven't seen before.
Okay.
Now, where did she move to in Maine?
It's just outside of Portland.
Outside of Portland.
But we thought, okay, we'll fly into Boston. Let's go check out Salem, Massachusetts.
Wow. So you drove from Boston to Maine?
Yeah, we
ultimately?
rented a car. And now, my guess is this is high atop Katie's list of places she wants to go spend some time.
Because you want to go see where witches were burned.
Now, they weren't burned. I learned all kinds of stuff, by the way.
Were they drowned?
No. So Salem, Massachusetts, we decided to take a haunting walking tour of see different sites and hear stories and learn about the witches and all of that, which was super fun. And learned about Salem, Massachusetts and witches, which is the first thing you think about when you think of them.
Yeah.
I think of cigarettes, but that's just me.
There was a tiny blip in the history of the town. Like it was known, but not really talked about. Do you know when it became widely known and talked about and became a thing? In 1972, Bewitched was the most popular TV show in the country.
Yeah.
The studio where they filmed Bewitched burnt to the ground in the middle of their recording season. And they said,
in Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles. And they're like, what are we going to do?
Okay.
And somebody that worked for Bewitched had the bright idea, you know what we should do? We should move all of this to Salem, and we'll write a storyline about the witch trials in Salem. And Samantha Stevens is going to go back in time
Because
and
there's a
save
lot of
the witches.
There's a lot of comedy to be mined there of burning witches at the stake.
And at the time, Salem, Massachusetts was a depressed economy.
Yes.
No tourism.
So they were happy to have.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Hollywood comes to town
Okay.
and saves the town. That, I think it was a 4-run episode of Bewitched. Apparently, Salem decided, hey, we should lean into this witch thing. Because it was super popular. And if Macy can put up the picture, there is a statue of Elizabeth Montgomery in a very prominent place in the.
Which one of those two is Elizabeth Montgomery?
She's the one that looks more animated than I do. But they truly credit her because nowadays Salem, Massachusetts, in the month of October gets 1 million visitors, and it's witch everything. The police cars have a witch on a broom on the police car, like the official car of Salem. Witches have saved Salem, Massachusetts.
Wow.
It's a huge tourist attraction.
Now, but what do you mean they didn't burn witches?
So part of the haunting tour, we went to... Now, first of all, the Salem witch trials didn't happen in Salem. There's some little village outside of Salem where all of this happened. But they did not burn the witches, they hung the witches.
Well, okay.
Hang the witch. Hang. No.
Doesn't have the same.
No.
Yeah.
No. And there is a cemetery in the middle of Salem where I think it was 10 people in all, not all women, by the way, 10 people in all.
Well, you mean there were warlocks?
They didn't call them that, but there were men that were accused of being witches, and they were also hanged. 10 of them in this cemetery where you can see, and I sent one of these pictures too. The very first girl who was hanged, her name was Bridget Bishop, and she was hanged on June 10th, 1692.
Oh, it just says Bridget Bishop hanged.
Yeah. So no burning of the witches.
Sarah Good, Rebecca Nurse, Susanna Martin. I knew a girl named Susanna Martin. Elizabeth Howe and Sarah Wilds. It says.
Now, why did they think there were witches?
Because they were.
Because they were smart.
There was a minister in town.
Is that Mather, Cotton Mather?
I can't remember his name.
I think it was Cotton Mather.
Who had a slave that he picked up in Barbados along the way.
Yeah.
like you did back then.
Sure.
And she would take care of his children.
Mary Sibley.
And his children, she went to him one day and said, "The kids are acting funny.
Okay,
they're speaking weird. They're acting weird. They're now nobody has ever figured out. There was probably some medical problem, something they were all eating or something they were exposed to that was causing this behavior. They've never been able to prove what that is, or they're witches. Believe what you want.
I think they were witches.
But different people in the community started exhibiting these different things. And they said, oh, well, the caretaker from Barbados, surely she's a witch.
Mm-hmm.
And she has caused all these other people to be witches. And they allowed in court spectral evidence.
Spectral evidence.
Not physical, actual spectral evidence, which could be, I had a dream and this person is a witch.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. If you're
Yeah,
thinking
well,
about...
we're headed back to that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's coming.
start practicing.
It's coming. Take the haunted tour, learn more about Salem.
My spectral evidence. I'm going to start practicing my spectral evidence.
Yeah, Cotton Mather was the Puritan minister who was behind all of that.
Yeah.
He was a piece of work.
Rock and roll. Oh, sorry. It's Foo Fighters. I've got short list here.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Yeah.
11 phrases. Now, it says millennials.
Oh, yeah.
11 phrases millennials were raised to believe that turned out to be completely wrong. I maintain that it is more than just millennials.
Sure.
These are phrases that you were told turned out to be completely wrong.
Okay.
First, of course, you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Not true.
In the theater of the mind, you can.
All right. 2, your job defines who you are.
Your job defines who you are. No, that's probably not
I'm
true.
a doctor, not a bricklayer. I don't know.
Not true.
You have to finish everything on your plate.
Yes, you do. You should.
No, it says you don't have to.
You should, though.
Boys will be boys.
No, that's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Therapy is for only for people with serious issues. It's not true at all.
Not true.
It's not polite to talk about money. Now, this one is where I get a little...
Yeah.
Well, you mean like... I mean, it's not polite to talk about how much you make.
Well, no, because I've been reading articles that younger people are okay telling you what they make.
Yeah, I've had plenty of conversations about money with coworkers around here.
Where me, if someone asks how much I make, I just say, well, that's none of your business.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm.
I got nothing against people who don't want to share. I totally respect it.
I say it's none of your business because I don't want you to know how fabulously wealthy I am. How much more money I make than you.
Yeah.
If you're not married by 30, there's something wrong with you.
I don't think you should get married until after
Until
30.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of getting married, but I was not quite yet 21, and I got married. And that was not, I shouldn't have done that.
I was 25. But again, I've been with the same person since high school.
The same gal.
The same gal.
You-
Yes.
Same gal.
I know, I applaud you, Nick. You did not say gal. you
trying to.
You would have, but
Negative reinforcement changes me.
Trying to help you out here. Here's one. Being sensitive means you're weak. Not at all. Not at all true.
Look at me. I'm very sensitive, and I'm the bad boy of X96.
why do you say you've said that twice today?
Yeah.
What makes you think you're the bad boy?
We
of
market
X96?
tested this. We sent out surveys. Who's the bad boy of the station? And yes,
And
the
it
only
does.
result was Nick Davis,
You
but
have-
it had overwhelming results.
You have not spent a night in jail. You haven't been reprimanded for smoking marijuana at work.
The market
You
speaks
have-
for itself, Bill.
Huh? What does that mean?
It is a market-tested title.
Okay. Well,
See?
yeah, but see, I know
All
the
right.
truth.
Well, I mean, the truth is relative anymore.
Yeah.
I know
You
that
know?
Nick always remembers who he is and what he stands for.
The bad boy.
Here's another one. Girls can't play sports. Well, of course they can.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Again, that's why I think this is not just for millennials.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain. Also.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, well,
Is that all of them?
don't.
I see a lot of people with a lot of money who haven't done a damn thing
Yeah.
to earn it. No pain, all gain. You'll understand when you're older.
No, you won't.
Probably not.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
It's.
Well, it says here the phrase was meant to convince you that adults had all the answers. See,
That's true.
Oh, that's yeah.
And adults do not have all the answers. It's like I've always said to many people, just because they're your parents doesn't mean that they're right.
You're trying to break up families? Is that what you're doing
Always.
there?
Always.
Always trying to break up families.
In the name of Satan. All right.
Well, you know what happens to the crust from Uncrustable sandwiches?
Uh,
They send their crust to companies who transform them into animal feed.
every day we learn something even better about him, don't we?
Okay. Let's do the promo and get out of here. Friday is the best day of the week here on Radio from Hell.
Yeah, because of the booze.
Well, you're not entirely wrong, but we'll be specifically drinking with Jimmy the Wine Guy when he stops by. There's more to the show than booze, though.
Exactly, like movie reviews with Sean Means, and you could also win tickets to Collective Solar Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, that's all good, but I'm mainly excited for the booze.
Booze-filled Friday, Radio from Hell, X96. Okay.
Right.
I think we're good. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Remember who you are and what you stand for.
All right.
I said that like a tough guy.